Mother, man.
Hey, I'm Gertrude Baniszewski for that shit, whatever the fuck. Y'all need a beer?
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's murder! Metal! Mayhem!
All right, what the hell is up, gentlemen?
What the fuck's up,
Hell
dude?
yeah.
It's Tuesday, and we're back on track now, doing this on a Tuesday. Murder Metal Mayhem, and we're at Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network. Episode 179 going down tonight. So
Fucking
getting
A,
closer,
man, getting
Chris.
there.
We're going to hit a 200 milestone here before
Fucking
too
A.
long. Pretty awesome. Chris, Joey, everybody doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Not doing terrible.
Hell yeah, very cool. Weather here is amazing, like upper 70s and sunny. I mean, thank God it's finally like out of that fucking freezing shit.
Right.
And it wasn't that spell last week where it got up into the mid 90s, which was like totally out of the blue.
It's hot as fuck.
But my central AC just working,
Hell yeah.
doing a
dude.
good job.
It's
All right,
kinda
what
rough
shirt?
doing the metal segment a little bit. My throat's been sore all day, so fuck.
Oh shit, yeah, that sucks. So what shirt you got on over there, Chris?
Fucking crotch ripper. Fucking hell yeah. Love some
Nice.
crotch ripper.
Fuck yeah.
Very cool. Some Quad Cities fucking slam. Joey, what about you, dude?
I got this new Putrid Pile shirt I got.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah, it's a really
Wow.
fucking cool shirt from Brutal Mind over in Taiwan. But I put it on and I was like, oh, I don't even need to go anywhere today. And then had to go to the fucking post office. Then it fucking went to the
Got
gas
some
station.
good looks.
Yeah, I go to the gas station. Of course, the fucking attendant's a fucking female. And I paid for my gas, went out, and like something had happened with the last transaction on the pump. So it like wasn't active or whatever.
Oh, no.
So I had to go back in and explain to her, and she put me on a different pump. But I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get out of this store with this stupid ass shirt on, you know?
That's hilarious.
But no, yeah, it was
Yeah,
badass.
Jenny had to take the dog out earlier, and she needed a T-shirt, and I had my dying fetus shirt
Just
set
sitting there.
aside. And she's like, "Hey, you mind if I wear the shirt?" I'm like, "No, but it says dying fetus on it."
Right.
She's like, "I don't care. I'm just going out back." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
Well,
So-
one time, my daughter was going with Courtney to one of her friends' house, and my daughters would just grab my shirts and throw on whatever.
course.
Well, she had this crotch stripper shirt on. I was like,
Nice.
dude, this is the first time you're ever meeting these people, whatever. Can you change shirts? She didn't know what it said. I had to tell her. She's like, what? Yeah, I'm not wearing this out there.
And I've been waiting for this shirt to
Hell
come in
yeah.
a size that I could wear. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, one of
yeah,
my
dude.
favorite Sabbath albums, but definitely my favorite Sabbath album art. Just so
Yeah,
fucking
that one
sick.
works dope.
So I finally found it. I got it today. So I made the switch because I was going to wear the dying fetus. I switched and busting out some Black Sabbath. So
Fucking right.
fuck yeah. All right, last week, guys, we did a good one. Joanne Dennehy. What a crazy
Bitch.
Wow. From the UK, one brutal bitch for sure, stabbing dudes with a fucking monster Rambo knife, licking the blood from the fucking blade. I mean,
She loves
just,
that shit, dude. She didn't
Yeah.
give a fuck about none of it either.
No,
Just laughing about it.
no, not even trying to hide it, really.
Yeah.
But it was a good one, and so if you missed that, you want to check it out. Plus, I did the feature in the metal segment on Flayed Disciple.
Fuck yeah.
Another UK band, so wicked. Played a piece of the interview I did with them, and so that was cool. We did a Killer Cage match, which was fun.
Every week, baby.
Yeah, mayhem stories from each of us about the tattoos we've had done, so that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
cool. We did some karaoke and the usual craziness, and we were just passing 900 listens to that one today. So thank you very much, and go
check
give
it
it a
out, man.
listen if you missed
178.
episode 178. The bonus interview we did, the full interview with Flayed Disciple, was very cool. We were passing 600 to that one today, so that was awesome. Like 621.
Not 666.
Not 666 yet, but it's getting there. So you could be the 666th and go listen to it. It's 39 minutes long. And we also posted the video of it on our YouTube channel. So, man, if they're not getting that YouTube shit, Joey, they're missing out.
I know.
For sure.
A lot
We
of cool
post some
stuff.
good content up there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Tonight we got another horrible fucking woman. I mean,
This
this
story,
is
dude,
bad.
it ain't just her, dude.
The whole
The
family's
whole
fucked.
thing's fucked up, dude. She just like organized.
She was
it.
the ringleader,
Yeah,
right?
like, goddamn.
All
Yeah.
kinds of circus talk tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And all month we've been doing female killers, and she is just one of the worst.
Which, to be honest, I think she was one that I wanted to do last May, but we
Oh.
had so many other ones.
We were full of.
Yeah. So, and plus we just
Worth
did,
the wait, though. For
yeah.
this
Oh,
one.
yeah. No,
So
definitely was.
brutal.
But that's how long, like, we've
Yeah.
been ready to do this one. So,
Yeah.
now we're going to do it.
Hell yeah. And she's from Indiana, so
Yes.
just
Yeah.
right next door to us, Chris. So that's real comforting.
That's a farmer blow away.
We're talking about old Gertrude Baniszewski and her fucked up family brood of kids and the neighborhood kids tortured, beat, and killed a teenage girl in Indianapolis in 1965. But
Dude.
my God, what a bad one. The stuff they did to her was shit from horror movies.
Insane.
Really, really bad. So this is definitely a rough one tonight.
Oh, dark as fuck.
Yeah, and we're going to do that in a murder segment. So, Chris, you got the horns tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Erik Rutan as an individual, not a whole band.
That's really
So,
cool,
it's
man.
Like something different to do.
A lot of good contributions to metal, that's for fucking
Definitely.
sure. So
Big
well
time.
worthy. That was a great call on doing that, Chris. I think I might do that too with somebody just
Right,
because
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was a great idea. Anxious to learn about him. I don't know much about him. Of course, he's on the new Cannibal Corpse, and he fucking tears it the fuck up. But he's been in, many other bands, and he's also a producer, and he's amazing in the studio. So that's really cool shit.
I remember fucking whenever Hate Eternal came and played, and Cannibal Corpse, I think, and fucking Big Mike was in like fucking one of the Mexican restaurants. I can't remember which
El
one.
Portone.
I think it was El Portone, and then fucking Erik Rutan comes fucking walking in there
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Oh,
He's
that's
like
cool.
posting it up and shit. I'm like, that's badass.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I got a Lost Classic to serve up tonight, and so that'll all be in the metal segment.
Hell yeah.
Killer Cage Match, gentlemen. This is where we get our listeners to provide some random numbers on our Facebook page to help decide who's going to fight to death in the cage. So,
Gotta
Chris,
die. They gotta die.
so who do we want to say thank you to?
We got Stephanie Brooks, Rebecca Boomsock, and Caden Stuthis. Thank you all, dude. Fuck
Wow,
yeah.
Ray McFalls missed it.
Ray
man.
McFalls
Wow.
is out.
Old dangling fury, right? So yeah, very cool. Thanks, guys, and got a good matchup tonight, Joey. What about this one?
Fuck yeah, bro. We got fucking Charles Manson, man.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. Groovy.
Getting high, man. He's going to go up against fucking Pee Wee Gaskins.
Oh,
so
damn.
This should be a pretty good one. I
Yeah,
would
because
think,
they're
tonight.
both small dudes, so
Right.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and
way it worked
he might be cousins kind of with Joe Ball with the Gator thing.
Oh,
so.
dude,
Yeah.
Chris, that was a good episode we did on him. That's been a while ago. Pee Wee Gaskins,
Yeah.
but
Oh, my God.
feeding his victims to the gators in the swamp.
Hell
so
yeah.
definitely a good one. Tonight, they're going to have two objects to fight with and a variable, and we'll do that in Mayhem. So you got to listen up for that. All right, our sponsor this month, man. That's very cool of these guys in the death grind band, Blasphemation from Tampa, Florida. Fucking sick. They've been sponsoring the podcast this month, and they got a new full length called Phantasmagore Beyond Strange, and
Fuck
they're
yeah.
also part of that big Tampa Death Fest.
The
Brass Mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's September 30th through Sunday, October 2nd. A lot of wicked bands on that
Hell
bill. I know we talked about this last week, but definitely bears repeating. And very cool that they sponsored. So
Yeah,
thank
fuck
you
yeah.
guys.
Blasphemation. Check them shits out, dude.
Yeah, I'm linking to them in the episode description, so I'll make it easy for you. And bands, promoters,
Hell yeah.
venues. If you want to sponsor the podcast, $20 for the month. That's pretty cheap. we'll plug the shit out of whatever you're trying to plug. So
definitely fucking cross promote.
Yeah, get a hold of me, Pete at murdermetalmayhem.com. I'll fill you in. Also, thanks to you fuckers listening. We keep seeing the numbers rolling in, guys. The last minute numbers came in last night. 3,980 total listens.
Almost at 4,000. That's
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
So
so
that
close.
was awesome. So thank you guys big time for listening. And, that Tampa Death Fest is a good example. Now we're involved in some of the groups they're in.
Right.
So now their friends and customers are coming to check us out. So anybody that's new listening to the show because of that, fuck yeah, and hope you dig
Appreciate
it.
the
Hope
shit.
you dig
Hope
it.
you like it, yeah.
The guys in Flayed Disciple really liked the show.
Good.
John, the guitar player, he contacted me and said, listen to it. Thought it was really good stuff
Hell
and very
yeah.
unique. And he was very complimenting. So that was awesome to hear. Well, guys, we got a lot on our plate tonight. We're going to be taking a little short jaunt to Indiana. But
Riding the green wave.
But I think we,
make
we
sure
ought
it's
to
a
bring our own.
Yuengling.
I think we ought to bring
Yeah.
our own spoons, guys, because there's
Oh,
not
hell
enough
yeah.
to go around at the Baniszewski house. So, Chris,
Yeah,
what the fuck we got to do?
Let's get our fucking torture on. Fuck.
Fuck
Shit,
yeah.
fucking killing it.
Divine Chaos. I have been jamming the shit out of that band from the UK, and that song, Shadow of God. Those guys kick total ass. I stumbled on them recently, and I can't stop listening
That's
to
pretty
the last
fucking
two
dope.
albums.
Oh, yeah.
Really good stuff. Now, I mentioned to you guys on the break what I've been doing with this bumper music, like that song particularly. If I don't have it, I'm going on their Bandcamp and I'm buying the download. So, I mean, I'm just trying to even further tell our listeners that, man, any chance you can do that kind of thing for these bands, that's a
That helps
fucking
out
huge
fucking
thing.
lot, yeah.
You could buy the digital releases from Bandcamp. Some of them name your own price. I
Yeah.
mean, it's unbelievably cool. And a lot of them have T-shirts and other things you can get too. So Bandcamp is a great source to find shit for the bands that you're listening to.
Fucking right.
So, all right. Tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about old Gertrude, or what her friends would call Gertie Baniszewski, and it is a crazy, I'm assuming Polish name. Shane, I'm sure you'll let me know if I'm wrong. But it is a crazy, crazy spelling. So trust me, it's Baniszewski. But you'll see it in the episode description and be like, how do you say that?
Before I ever heard, I said Baniszewski for like,
So long.
Well, yeah,
Never.
because that's what it looks like.
right.
you
And
know?
I only saw like the book and, reading stuff online before I ever heard it
Right,
actually
right.
said out loud. And I was like, that's how you fucking say it?
Yeah, isn't that funny? You know what I found too? If you go to Google and just type in the name, and
Yeah.
you can actually hear somebody say it, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool, So
I mean, it's
for
kind of
these
like,
crazy names like that, that's what I use.
yeah.
Right.
If I'm hearing different pronunciations on like the docs,
Yeah.
if it's like, wait a minute, how do you say that?
Right,
so I'll
right.
go there.
Back in the day, we didn't have zero options like that. So
Oh, fuck no.
So I acted like one of my favorite bands was Sepultura.
Sepultura.
I can't even say it like that now because it's so
My
hard.
son's
Same
friend from here, from
Yeah,
Hayworth, that's how he was saying it. We
Yeah.
were dogging on him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like the guy we met at the Low 12 show said his favorite band was Dio.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, it's Dio. And he's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, what? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. His teeth were black.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called him Black Tooth Grin. And yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, so back to Gertie Baniszewski, a very, very similar story. You pointed this out, Joey, to the Sugar Babe story
Yeah.
with Vera Jo Regal and the death there. In this case, though, we're talking about the murder of Sylvia Likens, but very similar.
I mean, Gertrude
thing.
was very much like a gangsta.
She was,
Like,
man.
She had her crew
Had
of
her
kids.
thugs, yeah.
In the 60s, you know. So Gertrude divorced twice and was the mother of 7 kids, living in an absolute filthy fucking house with 3 spoons. So they had to eat in shifts. I mean, that's fucking poor. Her
I
kids.
saw that there's only like 3 mattresses in the whole house too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck?
I know. But they all could smoke. That's was kind of
Oh yeah,
funny.
they had fucking plenty.
Yeah,
of
they were all
cigarettes and
chain
beer.
smoking fools. Her kids learned to survive mostly on bread and water, crackers, shit like that. Neighbor wanted Gertrude to watch her 2 kids while her and her husband went off to join the carnival. So that's real special. Why the fuck they did that is beyond me. Because if you just take a peek in this house, I don't know if I'd be leaving my teenage daughters there.
Right.
But you gotta wonder what kind of environment they had.
Well, yeah. Well,
mean-
those 2 girls were fending for themselves.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that because the mom was in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that when she got out of jail is
Right.
when all this shit
So
went
it
down.
might. I mean, without knowing
That's
the
true.
outcome, it could have been a
That's
step
true.
up.
Worse.
but,
Yeah. Who knows? That's a good point, man. So, Chris, we've done this past couple Mays with some horrible females, but what is it about old Gertie that kind of freaks you out? I mean, she's pretty.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Just very skeletal.
Oh, my God. Awful.
Fucking
Eesh.
probably just the way how she had no feelings for this girl and the way she was able to talk her own children, let alone like neighborhood children, let alone her own children,
Right.
to come in and do the things they did to this girl. Like how she was able to control them like that. Just like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
What did
it's
she-
so dark,
what
like
did she
Joey
have?
said, man. Just such a dark fucking story.
Yeah.
Now, Joey, you brought her up back when we did a contest here on the podcast, one of those serial killer mass, brackets we've done
Right.
before. But she is one of the meanest fucking bitches
yeah.
I've ever fucking read about or watched anything.
I'm pretty sure whenever we did that one, I contributed her, and also I think that's whenever I contributed Teresa Knorr for the first time. Which, if anyone
Yeah.
listened to that episode,
Yeah, that was a good one.
and both of those are like this case and
Yeah.
that one are 2 of the ones that like stuck with me the longest after I first heard about them, whatever.
Yeah.
because the brutality
Right.
and the suffering that the victims go through is just
Awful.
like holy shit.
a lot
Like,
of similarities with that
yeah,
one too.
and,
That's a
and I
good
mean
one.
to be, I mean, it's hard to tell what's worse. Like the toolbox murders are some fucking brutal
Oh,
ass
gosh,
shit.
We've done a lot of awful shit.
Yeah,
here,
but
that's for
this
sure.
is like right up there. This is only one victim now,
Right.
But it's still
it's right up there,
Yeah.
if not surpassing the Bittaker stuff,
right.
which is pretty fucking bad.
Yes.
Now, I had not heard of her at all before you brought her up, Joey. So this is, always fun to learn about one of these ones we don't know much about. She's definitely worthy of some Murder Metal Mayhem,
Yes.
and we put her here in May because she definitely fits the roster this month.
And this case isn't like too terribly far from us either.
No,
so,
not at all. 3 hours, maybe.
yeah.
I'm sure, many of our true crime fans might know of her, but because it happened in 1965 in Indianapolis, not in New York or LA,
Right.
it didn't get a big media attention, I'm sure, outside of Indy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had never heard of it before,
Right.
but, again, this is 1965. I wasn't even my old ass wasn't born yet. So, the other thing that would have drowned her out too is that golden age of serial killers, which
Right.
Peter Vronsky talks about. 70s and 80s
Yeah.
were, all the big names you think about, starting with Manson on, was just like non-stop in the media. These big
all
names
the time. Like, and they keep finding them.
Right. Now, Gertrude was born Gertrude Van Fossen in 1929. She's the third of 6 children, but not much is known about her childhood. I did read on Murderpedia that she had a very close bond with her father, but not so much with the mom. So that's an interesting dynamic there.
And that definitely seems to be the direction she went.
Right,
So-
right. She would have been dealt one hell of a blow in 1940 when she was 11 and watched her own father die of a heart attack. And here's this. She's got this big bond with her dad. So
Right. And as
that's
a kid,
that's
watching
rough.
that happen like out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's rough. That really is. And it would fuck anybody up, especially a kid, to see something like that. Now, Chris, we see this kind of thing with a lot of the killers we talk about with these traumatic events. Now, everybody has traumatic events in their lives. We talk about this quite often,
Right.
like, why does this person whack out from this when 99.9% of the population suffers but then gets over it? you
Yeah,
know?
I don't know. I mean, maybe like actually physically watching your father have a heart attack, that's going to leave a lot more than just somebody calling you out from school or whatever. Like, hey, we have bad news for you. But
Right.
like watching it happen, watch the live drain from him, that'll fuck you up really fucking bad.
Yeah.
But I
No,
mean,
think
it
you're
doesn't,
right.
like you said, it doesn't cause like most people to go out and be like, oh, this is my reason to kill now.
Right,
But,
exactly.
Like, it doesn't
But
make
you
sense.
wonder, like, did that start the chain reaction?
yeah.
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
for all you know, that could have been her first orgasm.
Yeah, I mean, it could
Who
have been. She had a lot of
Who
them.
knows? Now, Joey, this seems to have started the downhill slide for old Gertie, who's having problems in school. We heard this one last week,
Right.
with the problems in school, right?
Yeah.
She drops out at fucking 16 and just fucking, she gets married.
Yeah, she's like, okay, well, I'm with this 18-year-old, so I've got life figured out now. Fuck school. Like, I'm
Right.
just going to go fucking live my life.
Plus, he's got the cool last name, Baniszewski.
Right. She was like, God, I can't wait to have a name that nobody can say right. I can't wait.
Yeah,
till
how do
that
you
day.
order a pizza?
Yeah.
You know,
He's a
it's
fucking
spelled.
cop. And he's a
Just
fucking
put
cop,
Smith.
so yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do when I call for pizza, and they're like, I'm like, just put Johnson or Smith or
Yeah.
Brown. I don't care. Whatever.
Something
just
simple.
fucking deliver it here.
Put pizza on it.
Yeah, exactly. Huh?
Johnny Pizza.
So yeah, Joey,
But
she's
they had
just
kids
heading in a
and
bad
shit.
way.
I mean, they ended up like actually starting off a life together.
yeah, 4 kids.
Yeah. But, you know.
Not
it
a good situation.
It wasn't going to fucking maintain that way because fucking the guy she was with is young and he's fucking all volatile and gets angry. and
Right.
Before you know it,
Beating
he's
her
fucking
up.
beating her up. Yeah. And,
Cop beating up his wife.
yeah.
Yeah, he said she was being annoying, so that's why he was beating
Damn
her
it,
up.
bitch, shut up.
They stay together for 10 years, but eventually get divorced, and she ends up with these 4 kids on her own, which is definitely not easy at that, especially at that time where this was much more stigmatized than it would be today with the single mom. But she didn't stay single for long. She gets married to old Edward Guthrie. And left her. He leaves her after 3 months because he
fucking
couldn't
months.
deal
He's
with the
like,
kids.
fuck this. You got too many kids. You're a fucking psycho. I am done, dude. Like,
Yeah, I
No
need
way.
to take my spoons though.
yeah.
Please, that silverware that I bought last night, I need that back because I'm going to leave.
Dude.
So you motherfuckers are stuck with 3 spoons. But you know that doesn't last long. She gets back together with John, the first guy that beat her up.
Bad idea.
The cop, you know.
Yeah.
And she's got bad choice in men, that's for sure. But I'm sure some of it was due to the fact she had no skills.
And she had all those goddamn kids.
Yeah, I mean, she's destitute with these kids. I mean, that's fucked up. So she stays with John for 7 more years of wedded bliss, I'm sure. How many plates were fucking thrown
Oh,
across
God.
rooms in that house? That's maybe why they only got 3
It's just
spoons.
like, we're never
Everything's
buying
broke.
fucking plates and silverware again.
Right, exactly. So they spit out 2 more kids, though. So now she's got 6.
Usually that helps the situation.
Yeah.
It
more
always,
kids, that always
always, yeah. Totally destitute. Let's just keep cranking them out. The 2 get divorced for a second time in 1963. My God. So this is setting the stage for some brutal shit to come because she is 37 years old.
Being a cougar.
She's a,
Yeah,
she's a fucking Skeletor cougar, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Winds up in another bad relationship with this 23-year-old. I'm sure this motherfucker was special.
Yeah.
Old Dennis
Dude.
Lee Wright.
They had a kid.
And he beats her up all the time again. So she's got another guy beating her up.
I mean, that dude wasn't fucking 5 years older than her fucking oldest kid.
That's true. She gets pregnant twice, but loses one of them after Dennis beat her up. causing a miscarriage.
Man.
Yeah,
That's because
I mean,
they
this
never
guy's a
found the
piece of
other
shit.
6 in the boxes in the garage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, she's just, one fucking piece of shit after another. But she does have one baby with him, so now she's got a whopping 7 children.
That's a lucky number, though.
7
It
is
is
So maybe
lucky.
things are going to go really good for her.
Maybe. Well, let's be hopeful, Joey. That
But
it
if you're
is.
listening to this podcast, you
It's
know
probably
that's
not.
not
You
you know it's not going to be pretty. Now, Chris, I read that Gertie had not only had 7 kids,
Dirty
but claims to have
Gertie.
suffered
Dirty Gertie had
6
miscarriages,
miscarriages on top of the 7
too. Imagine
kids.
13
Jesus.
kids. Holy dude. Like, she's like, all right, you beat my ass. Now just fuck me. Like, constantly, like, what
I
the hell
know.
is
I mean,
happening,
she's
dude?
almost like creating 2 baseball teams. Like,
Almost.
they can actually play each
Each
other.
other, yeah.
Like, that's fucked up.
If all you're living off of is Yuengling beer and fucking
Crackers.
Orville Redenbacher popcorn and crackers, yeah. I mean, what do you expect?
That's true. So
That's all
after
they
seeing
have in
pictures
Indiana,
of
isn't
her looking much older than she was, I can't
Oh, yeah.
imagine the desperation for some dude to go over there and have sex with that.
It's like, I
mean,
can't
that's
wait to
nasty.
give this thing the dick.
She
Ugh.
like 37 straight looking like she's 78.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
rough, man. I mean, holy shit.
Her pussy was so fucking wide, I bet. Like, hey.
That's right. Now, Joey, after the birth, Dennis leaves Gertrude. Big surprise. She's got the 7 kids.
I mean, you got 7 kids. I don't want nothing to do with you now.
yeah, I mean, that's not helping.
I don't even care if
Keeping
one of
these
them's
guys
mine.
sticking around. If the first 4 chased the one dude
Oh,
off,
God.
now she's got 7. Holy shit.
And this is at a bad time.
Yeah, real bad
So she's
time.
a single
The
mom,
60s.
all these kids, 60s going on with all the
Vietnam,
Yeah.
fucking poverty was rampant.
fucking... You know,
Race riots. I mean, she was in Indianapolis, I'm sure.
they were thinking
She
all
saw her
that
share
shit.
of that.
I was trying to look because I can't fucking remember how fucking close to the coincision with Jim Jones whenever he was in...
When they're
It's
fucking-
funny you mentioned that
People
because
say
in the afterthought, I was watching something or reading something on it today that
Right.
one of the kids of this story, one of her kids,
Yeah.
he commented when that happened in the media because he lived there in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he commented or why it was newsworthy.
Right.
So I don't know if he had something maybe to do with the church. I
Yeah.
really have no idea. But yes, it would have been right at the
Yeah.
time Jones was there.
So that's crazy.
that's fucked up.
So all the things that he's thinking, she's probably thinking the same shit too.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's why she's raising her kids this fucking crazy ass way, and
it's very possible.
everything that
man.
she's been through. Like, she's got to act as tough as she can.
Right.
I don't know. She's fucking crazy though.
Yeah. So the kids range from 1 to 17. So she's got quite the spread
yeah.
there, pun intended. I read that they only had the 3 spoons, as I mentioned. They're on East New York Street in Indianapolis. I'm not familiar with the neighborhood. But these, they're eating in shifts. They're surviving on bread and crackers and water. I mean, that's fucked up. Sometimes they would have soup, but they didn't have a stove. So they had a hot plate.
Right.
They're doing like prison cell fucking cooking and shit here.
And she, like, obviously she doesn't like to clean. So this is a way for her to never fucking have to do fucking make meals.
That's true.
And B, she never has to clean up any
Yeah, because
fucking
my kids
dishes.
always bitched about washing the silverware. So
Yeah.
with 3 spoons, I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Fuck
pretty
it,
simple.
Yeah,
You
don't
know?
even use them. Eat the bread and the crackers, and then you ain't even got to fucking deal with
That's
it.
right.
Stick your head under the goddamn tap and drink the water like a human.
Oh, some of those pictures of the crime scene
Oh, yeah.
with those sinks and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it looked like shit in the bottom of it. It's disgusting. The apartment is a complete fucking disaster, total filth, as I mentioned. And I know it's rough on a woman in this situation, but it doesn't cost much to clean and keep yourself clean looking and taking baths. and-
Also, you got a fucking
on.
a horde of goddamn kids.
right?
Like, make them do something.
That's true.
If everybody pitches in, you got that shit
You don't
cleaned
get
up.
the
quick.
quarter unless you
Exactly. Yeah,
fucking
with
clean.
7 fucking kids. I know
Yeah.
the one kid's 1.
Yeah.
Right.
So there were a few, I'm sure, that were too little, but the majority of them were like upper, almost
11,
10 and then in their
12,
teens,
yeah.
And we're
So-
just talking, I'm just, simple tasks like,
Dude, my
clean the
kids were
fucking
doing their
cupboard,
own
wash out
laundry
the
at like
fridge.
10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my kids have always been like that.
I had to do my own laundry at an early age because I bitched at my mom for fucking shrinking one of my shirts or whatever,
Yep.
Especially back whenever I was growing up, it was the 90s, we were wearing all our shit real big. So fucking, I got one of my shirts back, I'm like, "Brr," and she's like, oh, okay, then you can do it your fucking self. Not, she didn't say fucking, but
Right.
you can do it yourself. And so from that point on, I had to learn to do my laundry.
Do it yourself. Yeah, that's not such a bad thing. So, she's not exactly going to attract a decent guy in this situation with all these kids, the filth, her looking like fucking Skeletor.
Her stupid ass last name.
Yeah, fucked up last name now.
Change your name, bitch.
Exactly. And
Straight up
she
and
is
got out of
unfortunately just a piece of ass and a punching bag to these guys, and that's fucked up.
She might want to turn somebody else into that.
Maybe.
Sure, yeah, maybe.
So she was barely getting any support from John or Dennis. That's a big fucking surprise. Probably getting some form of public aid. I actually checked to see when that started.
Yeah.
And that was like in the 20s.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's been going on a while. But I know it's changed over the years. So maybe at this time, there wasn't much of that. I don't know. She was making a little bit of money babysitting. But it would be this skill that would end up bringing out her dark side. And no one would imagine, that in middle America here, Indianapolis, Indiana, that's some crazy fucked up shit like this would
Sadistic
happen.
fucking shit.
Hell yeah.
Now, Chris, talking about that, you think about big cities, New York, LA, Chicago, but not in Indianapolis. But why do these cases from the heartland of the country seem to, for whatever reason, just splash the headlines?
I think, like back then, it was because it was Indianapolis in the middle of the country, whatever.
Right.
Like LA and New York, the LA Times went all over the country back then anyway, like the New York Times and shit.
Right.
Like, so it got spread around more. Like, Indianapolis paper never went out of fucking Indianapolis and shit, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So, like, the news didn't spread that quick, I don't think. So, and then by the time it
Right.
got
The
out,
24-hour news wasn't a thing.
there, yeah. So anything, if that had happened now, it'd be fucking
Yeah.
insane, dude.
Probably.
I can't help but think that possibly back then too, media had a tiny bit more moral decency than they have now. And when
Yeah.
they say a story like that, maybe
So
they were
bad.
also sickened by it to the point where they didn't really
Just
want to
didn't wanna
cover
fucking
it.
talk
That's
about
very
it.
possible,
Yeah,
dude.
it's way
Yeah,
different
I mean,
now.
this
of
is pretty
course.
rough shit to talk about on the fucking,
Yeah.
broadcast television in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
But, Joe, when you think about these cases from the Midwest, man, this is like the fucking den of the most fucked up Gacy, Gein, Dahmer, Holmes. We were talking about Jim Jones. The Clutter murders, which is what spawned the whole fucking true crime,
Right.
with the In Cold Blood. So what is it, though, Joey, about these big names coming from here? Is it the isolation?
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
the ability to do shit under the radar?
everybody has their own fucking reasons for doing what they're doing, of course, but it seems like, possibly boredom is a big influence on a lot of these, and
Yeah.
also like upbringing, like what they were taught growing up. A lot of them have weird ideals and shit.
Right.
Something else that's like kind of like classic is you look at, okay, all these fucking killers and shit come out of the Midwest, and like, you could fucking have a serious conversation about Midwest fucking killers for real.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the same way as if you look at music, like there's some sick bands that come out from right
That's
around
true.
this area, and you start naming off even just Illinois bands, you're like, holy fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you want to look a little bit deeper into that rabbit hole, you could be like, okay, some of the four big ones to me for serial murder for states is Illinois, New York, California, Florida.
Right.
Texas and Ohio are close to, of course, but if you look at those places and then look at like the brutal metal scene and shit, like they're all coming out of those areas,
Interesting
and death metal and
analogy,
shit.
dude.
Yeah, so I was like, it's kind of weird how those fucking coincide together, but
It is.
kind of a cool study, I guess.
Yeah, I think that is an interesting point to raise.
And
for
that's,
sure.
I mean, that's why you get motherfuckers like us that do a podcast that
Right.
blend murder and metal, because
That's right.
it just
'cause
makes
they
sense.
go
to
hand
us.
in hand.
Yeah.
Now, Gertrude gets some news that's definitely fucked up, her fucking world even more. Her oldest, 17-year-old Paula, is 3 months pregnant. So now they got another baby on the way.
But she's not pregnant. She's still a virgin.
Yeah, she's still
That's
a virgin.
right. That's right. Now things are
immaculate
getting even
conception.
more desperate, and I don't know if she ever heard of birth control. I'm just wondering how that maybe never
Dude,
got into the
fucking
conversation.
goddamn Gertrude never heard of birth control.
No.
See how many kids she has, the possibility of kids she could have had? She never
Right.
heard of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, so what the fuck? I mean, I can obviously sympathize here with the single mother, but this is fucking ridiculous. I mean, at some point, you need to just shut it the fuck down.
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, you're having kid after kid after kid. I mean, this is just fucked up.
And you can't, like...
And not taking care of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And not being properly cared for.
No. So, Chris, her health, Gertie's health starts to suffer. She's got some different diseases going on. Hygiene's going down the shitter, barely eating.
Dude, she's looking dope, man. Fucking Dr. Geen would have helped.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I
Dr.
wondered if
Geen.
her pussy maybe could have used some help from Dr. Geen's vagina
100%,
maintenance.
I guarantee it could have.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely needed it. We got some right here. Like, it's right here. Thanks,
we do
Stephanie.
have it.
Joey, what do you think? I mean, a bit of the pussy potpourri might help, or a slab of that vagina butter,
I mean, she was such a fucking sadistic bitch that probably when she opened her legs to anybody, she wanted it to be rank as fuck.
Possible.
Like, I just don't.
Yeah,
fucking
she's
care.
like, smell this gross cunt, you fucking loser.
Oh, God.
She was a mean bitch.
She was mean,
And
dude.
she didn't like to clean shit anyway.
No.
So if you're not going to clean the fucking cupboards,
You ain't
you ain't
cleaning
going to clean your
your
vagina.
Right.
No, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
So her eyes are sunken in due to malnourishment. She's smoking like a fucking chimney. How she's able to afford cigarettes is a whole nother story when the kids aren't eating, which is fucked up.
Babysitting, man. That's
Right.
that cigarette money.
Probably had a couple of them kids fucking pretty good thieves, too.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. This may have been, I'm not sure, what the deal was, but she's calling herself Mr. Right because that was Dennis's last name. She said that they were still married, even though they weren't. I'm not sure, though, because I know they did get divorced. I don't know when the timing
She's
of
like,
this
God
was.
damn it, it's easier to say and write.
Yeah, that Baniszewski, right?
Sign them welfare checks.
Yeah, no shit.
Of course, to blame them in this story, these guys are men, especially John, who fathered 6 of the 7. So, these guys should have stepped it the fuck up, especially John with the 6 kids.
I mean, do you ever
That's
just fucking,
fucked up.
You ever just step back if you're John and be like, damn, I fucked that. Like, that's fucking gross.
Yeah, especially John. I
Yeah.
mean, 6 times at
I
least.
made kids
right?
with that thing. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
good's
fucked
going to
up.
come out
Stayed
of
with
this.
her for the equivalent of 17 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right. Now, Chris, I know you would agree. Of course, you're a dad, and these guys not being men to step up and take care of business is fucked up.
Hey, man, I could, like Joey was saying, I could see it with her meanness and just everything in general. I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes and never come back.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think just about
Just
it. Well,
stepping out to
that's
get
why they all
smoked.
did that.
This is the
they left.
60s. Watch what I can do.
Right.
Right.
I could just disappear and it don't
Poof.
matter.
Abracadabra.
So it was July of 1965. Paula Baniszewski met 2 teenage girls in the neighborhood, Sylvia and Jenny Likens. Jenny wore braces on her legs from polio, which was common back in that time.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah, I mean, the Forrest Gump, you think of the big metal braces. I mean, it's awful.
Rickety cricket.
But, it was a time when that was a thing. Paul takes
Hold
them-
on, real quick. I had this fucking teacher when I was in high school in Mattoon, and I think he was biology. I'm pretty sure science. But he had polio in one arm, and then his other arm was fucking jacked, like
Oh,
fucking
wow.
Popeye.
Oh, that's
And his
fucked
one
up.
arm was all fucking cripped out and shit. But dude, I was like,
That's
dude, what's up
weird.
with this dude? That I found out he had polio.
But his
that's
one arm
fucked
But
was
dude, like
jacked
he
as
would do
fuck.
everything with that one arm, like pick up all these heavy ass fucking things. I was like, fucking, if you ever got punched by that one arm, holy shit.
Yeah, that would hurt. That would hurt. So Paula takes Jenny and her sister Sylvia back to her place to listen to some Beatles albums.
She loved the Beatles.
Love the Beatles. Sylvia and Jenny really like going over there since they could probably do what the fuck they wanted with very little supervision
It
from old
seems like
Gertie.
that was just the old party house.
Smoke cigarettes and drink beers.
That's right. That's right. So now their mother, Betty, was in jail. So the two girls had been staying at their apartment alone with nobody to take care of them and like having to fend for themselves.
She was locked up for theft, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
shoplifting.
sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, now these girls probably, as bad as it was at the Baniszewski house, at least there were other people,
Right.
and they had some food, even though
Yeah.
it was
Bread
bread
and
and water and crackers. But
As it turns out, maybe less people would have been better in this situation, though.
that's true, dude. That's true. So you know, it just it's terrible to think of these two girls in that situation. But Gertrude lets them stay with her, which seems nice on the surface, but it wouldn't end up to be a good fucking thing at all. Betty had abandoned the girl's father, Lester, who traveled around with the carnival. He sold stuff at the carnival.
I can't remember what it was. But yeah, their marriage was rocky as shit anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
on the
she had
verge of
left
separating,
him,
yeah.
so you know, so they were all fucked up. And then, like I said, she was in jail. She gets out though, where he finds out that the girls are on their own, and he shows up to get him at Gertrude's. But when Betty gets out of jail, she decides to take off with him, and then they're going to leave the girls at the Baniszewski house, which is definitely not a good fucking move.
Under the pretense that they're going to give her $20 a week.
Yeah.
$20 a week for both the kids, even in the 60s. That
Doesn't seem like a whole lot, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah,
But he barely
it's
sent
some
her any
kids,
money,
but I'm
you know.
saying $80 a month, fucking pulling two more kids in the Midwest in the '60s. Maybe
Right.
not so bad of a racket.
No, maybe not. Chris, you Google that real quick.
What?
How much is $20 in
Oh,
1965
The conversion.
to now? It's you just Google it. Fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean-
curious.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but back then maybe not
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna
bad.
say like $75-$80.
But of course, the problem is, then the fucking money doesn't start coming in.
Right.
And
so
then
now
she's-
Gertrude's fucking getting
She's
pissed.
pissed.
Right.
She's like, holy shit. And I mean, this is literally after like he missed like one payment. Then he tried to tell, he contacted her and tried to tell her, oh, you know, I'll get it all straightened out. But of course
Right.
it never did. And she fucking was like, I fucking took care of you two bitches for nothing,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And she's pissed. So now she's about to, you know, let some anger out.
so a single dollar in 1965 was worth today $9.18.
All right.
So I don't do math. What's
So 20 times 9, 180 bucks.
Yeah.
Wow.
A
so I
week.
guess- yeah, okay. I guess that ain't terrible.
So yeah, no, that's not too bad. I didn't think it would be that high. So
Right.
thanks, Chris. So Chris, I mean, this is a home with no stove, no microwave, only half the number of beds they need. I mean, if this guy would have just said, "Hey, can I take a piss real quick?"
Yeah.
You know,
All right, like
he might have seen some shit.
He never actually went into the house at all.
No,
did
I
he?
don't think
like,
so.
They just talked, and he's just like, "All right, cool, let's roll with it." So he had no idea what his kids were getting into in the house anyway,
Right.
which is fucked up. You think if you're leaving your kids with
Exactly.
somebody, you're gonna want to check out where the living
Right, where are they gonna
conditions are like, where they
sleep, you know?
in. Like, no fucking way, dude.
Right. Especially with teenage boys in the house. I mean, that's
Right, you got
definitely
two
could be a
teenage girls
tough
in a house full of
situation.
teenage boys, yeah.
The first week they're there, everything seems to go fine. They're going to church, they're going to school, they're doing things with the other kids. But like you said, Joey, the money doesn't show up.
It's like
She's
one
going
day.
fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
she
Like
was.
one fucking
week.
day, dude.
She was
One week
relying
she
on
was
that
losing her
shit.
shit.
No, I thought it was the next day the money order showed up. She started bitching at them like, I took care of you guys for nothing, and then the next day the money order showed up or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it was just a mess. She forces the girls to pull their pants down and lie face down on her bed while she whipped their asses raw. It was soon after that the parents of the girls stopped by to check on them, but neither mentioned the beating they took, probably because she had them scared to fucking death. You know?
Yeah, but your fucking parents, you should be able to be like, look, this motherfucker straight
You would think,
beating me, dude.
You know, you would think for sure. Sylvia and Jenny went through the garbage cans in the neighborhoods for bottles for some money. They could turn them in. and buy some candy. And when they came home with the candy, old Gertie accuses them of stealing it.
They
So
just
she
stole that candy.
doesn't fucking believe them. Despite them telling her over and over again how they got the money, she doesn't believe them. And this time, she pulls their pants down and beats them on the bed with a paddle. So this is escalating. Joey, it's soon after this that the Baniszewski kids told old Gertie about what happened with Sylvia at that church social. What was the deal with
They were
that?
having a big potluck, and they had a bunch of food or whatever, and supposedly Sylvia fucking ate a bunch. I mean, this girl hadn't been eating.
Can you blame him? I mean,
This-
god damn,
this is
I'd
like
have been
fucking
eating like a fucking
Christmas to a
motherfucker.
kid,
Right.
But anyway, some of her sons or whatever came back, and she told Gertie that, hey, she was being a fucking pig.
Being a
Right.
gluttonous pig
Glutton,
out there,
and fucking pigging out at this function. And Gertrude's like, oh, okay, well, we'll teach her a lesson or two.
Yeah, so now you're starting to see the kids getting in on this action.
Yeah.
So that this keeps escalating, as I'm sure our listeners by now are like, oh my god. So here we go, Chris. Gertie forces Sylvia
Yeah,
to
fucking
eat
eat
this.
a hot dog.
What the fuck?
A hot dog, but she took everything out, every condiment or whatever out of the refrigerator or whatever, and just put everything on there and forced her to eat it until
She had
threw
all
it.
the kids putting stuff on it.
Yeah,
They
like
pass it around.
everything.
Chicago
Spices,
Do what?
condiments.
It's a Chicago dog.
Is it? Yeah, right. It's
Yeah,
a Chicago
right.
dog. Yeah.
all sorts of spices, though, they were putting on
yeah,
it.
it was gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had her like forcing her to eat it, and then it made her fucking throw up. So she's fucking like, you know what? Fuck that. You want to eat a lot? Eat your fucking puke too.
Yeah,
Eat her-
and
eat
she
your
did.
fucking own vomit. So like that's fucked up, man.
There was
Oh,
probably
yeah.
some black and curlies in there.
Yeah.
I was
Probably
going to say,
was.
remember my story
Yeah.
about my roommate eating puke,
Yeah.
frozen puke out of a fucking bowl. So that's, I don't even know what episode that's
I don't
on,
either,
but you'll
that's,
have to go back and enjoy that one.
I-
that might be fun to bring back a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
of the old stories just for, people that maybe haven't heard it and
Right.
are new listeners so they can get some of these. Maybe that's something we should do, maybe a special couple episodes or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
We'll have to think about that.
It's sad to say that I don't have one, but I have two friends that I witness eat mushrooms, throw up in my toilet, reach in, grab the mushrooms out of the
Oh.
toilet, and then eat them again.
Oh, God.
Because they didn't want to waste them.
Oh my god!
God damn, dude.
Wow. Or like the Trailer Park Boys when they changed from the into the animated episode when
Oh,
they're
yeah.
eating the mushrooms.
Oh yeah, dude.
yeah.
They're tripping. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so Sylvia and Jenny's parents stop by again, but the girls don't mention the eating incident or the paddling or any of this shit. I wonder if this is that whole Stockholm syndrome where you start to
it's gotta
sympathize
be.
with your captor. It's fucked up.
But still, at the same time, their parents still never went into the house and saw
Yeah.
what the
I
way
know,
that shit
it's-
was.
Or they
It
didn't
seems
give
so
a fuck.
crazy.
They're
They
like,
just, like straight up just didn't
maybe
give a
they
fuck.
thought if they fucking saw that they were getting beat on, that they were going to demand, Gertrude was going to demand more money from them.
That's true.
She was like, oh, we got to pay you to beat our kids now? Because, we were supposed to be doing that ourselves, I know.
Right.
Right? Yeah, it's
I don't
fucked
know.
up.
I don't know. The parents are fucked up, I
Yeah.
think.
So things start to get really crazy. August of 1965, Gertrude overhears Sylvia talking to the girls about how she let a boy feel her up, and Gertrude went into a fucking rage.
Oh, she snapped off, dude.
Yeah, somewhere else, though, it might have been the book I read that she said she just laid next to a boy. So the little discrepancy there. but
Regardless,
Gertrude,
in Gertrude's head.
Right.
that's
Gertrude's
right.
head, it
She's
doesn't
calling her a
matter.
whore.
Yeah.
And prostitute and all this other shit. She's just fucked up. She's almost like Ricky in the Trailer Park Boys calling people a male prostitute. You know, did that with
Meanwhile,
Alex Lifeson. That was so fucking
and
funny.
meanwhile, her fucking kid's pregnant.
Yeah, her kids.
Yeah,
the one that's
exactly.
pregnant and shit.
Exactly. So she told the kids that Sylvia was pregnant and that she was a prostitute and was kicking her in the crotch.
Just giving her fucking cunt
Like, what the
punch,
fuck
dude.
with the kicking in the crotch? And Joey, isn't kicked in the pussy? Is that a Goremonger song or?
Not
No,
yet.
but you know what's
Or
funny?
should it be?
Whenever I was reading these notes, I was like, man, I think there is a song like "Cunted in" or "Punted in the Cunt," something. So I was like, I'm gonna look it up because I was like, maybe "Kicked in the Pussy" And if you look up "kicked in the pussy," let me. I learned something today. I learned that there's some kind of subgenre of fetish shit of pussy of women kicking each other in the pussy. It's like cunt crushing.
Oh my God.
It's something like that, but it's just women punting each other in the cunt, and they'll be bruised up. And
God
Oh my
damn,
God.
dude.
I was like, okay, I looked up the wrong shit.
Yeah, right.
So I got out of there. But anyway,
Kicked in
like
the
I
pussy
said,
would be a cool band name too, wouldn't it?
no, but I was like kicked in the and then I was like, well, of course, what the hell was I thinking putting that
Right,
in?
what is that? Yeah.
I was just looking for a song though, and
Right,
holy
right.
fuck.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, if anybody out there listening's like into that kind of shit, go ahead and comment and tell
Yeah,
us.
I'd love to hear.
Yeah,
from
what's
you.
up with that?
We need to know. We need to know.
Gertrude did not allow Sylvia to sit down. I mean, we're laughing. This is so horrible, but you
Oh, this
can't
is-
help but
yeah,
laugh.
this is a bad one.
It's so fucked up. She doesn't allow her to sit down, and she lets all the kids do fucked up shit, beat on her.
Dude, like she sat in the chair and Paula just comes and throws her out of the chair and is like, you don't deserve to sit in that chair.
Right,
Yeah.
throwing
Like at
her
all.
down the fucking stairs. I mean,
Just
I
like,
wonder
so
if she
bad.
was doing this because her own looks were obviously fading quickly.
That's what they were saying.
And Sylvia was
possibly.
very pretty.
Yeah,
So maybe she was jealous. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what you guys think
that's what
about
they said
that.
might
Oh,
be
I
a big
really
part of
think
that.
that's what it was.
You think so?
Yeah.
You know, and it could be too that she was embarrassed about her own daughter,
own
like you
Paula
guys
being
pointed
pregnant,
out.
and like she's just like,
Because
wow.
that was a middle-aged man that got her daughter pregnant.
right.
So that's
Married-
even
Who
worse.
was married.
Married
yeah,
man, yeah.
right,
Yeah,
married,
right.
exactly.
You know, it's crazy. It's like one of their games that they were doing was pushing her down the stairs, Sylvia.
Right.
Like, and they would have neighborhood kids that
They
would come
charge
over. You
them,
could put, hey, $5. You
Pay a
can push this
nickel,
girl
yeah.
down the stairs.
All you
A
want.
nickel. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like, how many times can you get pushed down the stairs? Like, I thought there were times that I've seen in movies or heard about that motherfucker goes down the stairs and they break a neck, or you know,
Right.
Right.
How many times do you get knocked down the goddamn stairs? Like, holy fuck, she
Right.
was a tough ass girl.
She was,
real.
man.
Yeah.
She really was.
They're like, yeah, a nickel. Man, that's a fucking good nickel. You just knock this bitch down the stairs. Like, what the
Right.
fuck kind of neighborhood are they living in?
Like these kids just are about it too.
Yeah,
like
no, it's so
really
fucked up.
fucked up.
It
These
is
kids are about
fucked
wait.
up.
I actually get to push a person down the stairs.
Exactly. Charging a nickel to come check it
That
out.
is so insane.
So others have speculated that the financial stress, and I mean, I know I've been there, we've all been there, where you're stressing on money, man, that's the worst. So I get that, you know, and maybe she just snapped the fuck out. I guess, you know, anything's possible with this one, but could have been a hybrid of all those things. You know?
But at the same time, like, what kind of person does it take to really sit there and watch this happen to someone else and not be like,
They're not.
I can't fucking
Yeah,
watch
this is too
this. I
much.
got to
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Something is wrong here.
Yeah.
Like we need to do something
Like
different.
Yeah, the
amount
fact
of
there were that
sadism.
many people
Oh, yeah.
beyond her family, like
Yeah.
you were saying,
Yeah.
Chris, like these kids from the neighborhood, like
Yeah.
how fucked up do you got to be to want to fucking watch some shit like
we were
that?
talking last night.
God
We're
damn.
like, how did not at least a great percentage of those people not grow up to be serial killers?
Right?
Like for real.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So, you know, it's weird too how she focused in on Sylvia, maybe Jenny because she had the braces on. She felt sorry for her. I don't know.
I don't think she felt sorry for anyone. She just picked Sylvia for whatever reason.
Yeah,
that
Sylvia
she
just
had in her head.
Yeah. So now Jenny and Sylvia are telling kids at school to get back at these motherfuckers that the two oldest Baniszewski girls, Paula and Stephanie, were having sex with boys for money. I wouldn't be surprised that they weren't,
I would neither, but
you know.
also that's pretty ballsy. You're already getting these beatings, and now you're
Yeah.
going to go talk shit about
Right.
her daughters. You know it's going to get back to her, dude.
Right, right.
Like, that's ballsy as fuck.
It is. I mean, Joey, this is like lighting a whole pack of fucking fireworks off in the middle of this fucking house because they're going to fucking hear about it, like Chris was just saying, right?
What it reminds me of is lighting off a whole fucking can of mace upstairs of the house, and that's
Right.
talking about the sugar babe shit because
Oh, yeah, that's
what
true.
this reminds me of. It's like, yeah, these people are like instigating each other within this residence to team up on this one person, and we're
Right.
going to make each other believe that we've got the reason to do this.
Right.
Even though fucking to any outsider, it's like, are you fucking insane? You know what I'm saying?
I know. It is so fucked up. Like Chris said, I mean, pretty ballsy to be talking some shit at school.
Dude.
If you're going to be talking at school, it's to the fucking principal or guidance counselor saying,
somebody.
this is fucked up. Like, we're being abused. Like, please take us the fuck out of here.
And it's like, man, I can't understand like the mentality because I feel like I don't have it, but I know some people do or whatever. But you look at the Sugar Babe with Vera Jo, and then you look at this one with Sylvia, and it's like, already up to this point of the story, if this shit was happening to me, I'm fucking gone.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm getting the fuck out of there, and I'm going to figure out something else in my life because that's fucking insane.
It
Yeah, I
is.
don't
And
wanna
if
be
nobody's
any-
going to listen to you, whatever, I'm going to fucking
I'll
keep
get
going.
on
And
my
it
Fucking-
hasn't
fucking- I'll
even
get on
gotten
my
bad
fucking
yet.
own.
You're right.
It hasn't even gotten bad yet.
No, but it's still bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
see. Like,
Oh, yeah. No, it's bad enough. I agree.
yeah.
dude.
And when you're inside, like, a residence and, like, you're basically now surrounded by this fucking group that's
Yeah.
against you, like, fuck that.
I don't wanna be
Nothing good
nut-
can
yeah,
come out of
No,
that.
no. So Stephanie's
I feel like she was scared for her sister too.
Oh, that's
Probably,
that's another.
Like-
you know, that's another thing. And if you go to Vera Jo Regal too, it's the same thing. She was Sylvia was
She
scared
was
for her
scared for-
sister. Vera Jo was scared for her baby.
right.
Yeah,
right.
there's a reason to stick around, and like we're gonna
Right.
talk later. Like Sylvia can get out at one point, but she goes and tries to get her sister, and that's how she gets caught. Like she
Right.
probably could have got out herself. So yeah, I mean that's the other fucking aspect is these people are being very
manipulative.
yeah, to their fucking,
Oh, yeah.
loved ones, and that's awesome. But holy fuck,
It is. It's fucked up.
what you go through later on, I don't know.
No. Wow. So Stephanie's boyfriend, Coy Hubbard, he's going to be an important part of this story. He's 15 years
He's a
old.
winner.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he finds out that the Likens girls were saying this stuff about Stephanie, who's his girlfriend.
His girlfriend. He's
So
like,
he decides to get fucking revenge. He goes over and gives Sylvia a fucking beatdown. Gertrude tells him to use her as practice for his judo.
and that became a thing that he
Oh,
would
yeah.
do a
Yeah.
lot, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that he just
Constantly kicking her,
straight up
punching her. What
judo
the fuck?
practice. That's it.
Sometimes down in the basement on the concrete.
On the
Yeah,
concrete and
I
shit.
mean,
yeah.
horrible shit.
They said, I saw one thing. I only saw it on this one, but still, I thought it was pretty interesting. But they were saying that during that too, that Paula fucking also fucking hit Sylvia so hard that she broke her own wrist.
Her wrist, yeah. I
And
saw
so
that
later
too.
she ended up getting
Oh,
a fucking
wow.
cast on
And
it,
was
and
beating
then
her
would
with the
beat her
fucking
with the
cast,
cast.
yeah. I
Oh
saw
my
that too,
God.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. So now Gertrude's telling the friends of Sylvia that she was saying bad things about them. And so now you got, neighborhood kids, school kids
Like,
coming
oh, this
over
bitch right here, like
to beat her ass. I mean, what the fuck? She even tried to get Jenny to beat up Sylvia when
Her
she
own sister.
refused, threatened her,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like,
she wound up
unless you
having
wanna-
to do it.
yeah, basically, unless you want to get the beatings your sister's getting, you need to go beat her.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
so
God,
that's fucked
dude.
up. My
And you know-
God.
And you know that you don't want that beating. You don't want to hit your fucking sister
No.
either.
It's
You're
terrible.
stuck. Like, what do you do?
Right. It's horrible. So, Chris, a couple months into the beatings, one of the neighbors finally saw
Oh.
Sylvia wandering around, black eyes and shit.
Her eyes swollen shut. It's so bad and shit. Her lips all fucked up.
Yeah.
And nobody did shit about it. Nobody
No.
reported it. Didn't ask questions.
Nope.
They're just like, oh, okay, this 16-year-old girl is just walking around like
right.
she just got
like
out of a
she's
fucking
been
boxing
fighting with
ring.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I hate to keep bringing up the parallels, but remember Vera Jo, whenever they brought her over to the Salvation Army,
Right.
and she was all fucked up, and some of those people over there said the same thing, like, damn, that girl fucking got beat, but nobody said
Nobody said
anything
shit
to
about it.
authorities or
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you hear that a lot with stories of
Yeah,
the abuse
it's
like
true.
this, which is terrible. It really is. So now Sylvia tells Gertie that she needs a sweatsuit for Jim, but, Gertie says they can't afford it, so Sylvia has to steal one, which is fucked up, but hey, she doesn't want to fucking not have it. She got beaten up and forced to confess, and she proceeded to beat her, kick her repeatedly in the crotch for her, quote, sticky fingers. Gertie burnt her fingertips with lit cigarettes.
Dude, that is like the
Wow.
worst. And that ain't all the cigarette burn she gets either.
No, this gets so much worse.
God, she had so many by the time they did the autopsy.
I mean,
Yeah.
the kids just used her like an ashtray.
Yeah, the kids that smoked in the house, they would put their cigarettes out on her like an ashtray. I mean,
Like,
what the fuck?
Just so everyone listening knows, this whole thing happens within a 3-month fucking period.
Yeah.
Right.
This isn't even a long drawn out time.
That's
This
true,
is like
dude.
so fucking quick that it escalates this fast.
Yeah, and they're fucking tormenting her with matches and shit, lighting them and like throwing them at her and shit. So I can't even imagine the stress that this kid's going through and the pain. This is just get ramping up, guys. It's going to get so much worse. She makes Sylvia strip in the living room for her sons.
And the neighborhood kids.
Yeah, the other kids from the neighborhood to masturbate with a Coke bottle for them.
Forces her to do this.
That's fucked up. Shortly after this, Sylvia becomes incontinent and cannot control her urination. So
She gets incontinent because she shocked the fucking
shocked,
force.
beat, and kicked in the vagina. I mean,
Right.
all this other shit. I
That
mean,
doesn't
it's
make
fucked up.
Gertrude happy because they only got 3 mattresses and she's pissing on them. Can't be having that.
Right, exactly. That's true. So, Joey, now they put the girl in the basement. And
Yeah.
this is when shit starts to get even darker. in
Yeah,
this
it gets
story.
worse. I mean, literally it gets darker because you're going into a basement, but
Right.
also, they've got her down there now, and it's like, oh, you can't control your bowels,
Right.
so now you're going to be pissing and shit on the floor because you ain't got nowhere to go,
Right.
which is going to fucking make them mad.
Right.
But you're out. You're
Yeah, what do you expect her to do?
you're a living fucking being. You're obviously going to have to do that.
Right.
But they've also, I mean, they've got her down there, strip her down, tie her up, like.
Yeah, she's tied to the stairs. She's naked. The dog lives down there with her. And then Gertrude would get mad because, like you said, there's piss and shit all over the place. So she puts her in a bathtub of scalding
water.
fucking hot water
Just
to
straight
cleanse
up hot
her
water, yeah.
because she was a dirty girl. And she would do this multiple times a day, dunking her head under the water and then afterward rubbing salt
Yeah.
into her skin with like a hard bristle
Like,
brush.
that's just a pure hatred for someone,
That's
dude.
fucked up, man. Wow. I
This-
mean, this was multiple times a fucking day. Holy shit. I'd rather be in the basement
Yeah.
to deal with that.
That fucking hateful treatment right there is also reminds me of Teresa Knorr,
Yeah.
the way she was.
Oh, yeah. Had her in that closet.
Yeah.
Now, Gertrude gets a 14-year-old boy, so another boy in the mix here, Ricky Hobbs, to beat up Sylvia. Keep an eye on her.
It's like
kind
a
of like her
fucking
strong
Fight
man.
Club.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Some suspect that old Gertrude was fucking this 14-year-old
Right.
kid to get her to
probably-
do what she wanted.
Probably was.
I'm sure she was. This just keeps getting more fucked up. I can't even imagine, you're talking about the level of dysfunctionality here is unfucking off the charts. They also forced her to eat spoiled food from the garbage
Yeah.
and rubbed a dirty, shitty baby diaper
They
into her
forced her
mouth.
to eat her own feces.
Yes, yes. Now, Chris, Gertrude is making money off of this, like we said, charging kids a nickel to see her naked or to watch them push her down the stairs.
Again, these fucking neighborhood kids. Somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, we got this beat up naked girl chained up in the basement.
Right.
And you want to see it? You want to go see for a nickel?" Okay, maybe you're like, okay, is this fucking real?
Right.
So you
Maybe
do it.
do it once,
Yeah,
but
and then
once you
but
realize
once you
it's
see
real,
you go back and you're like, "Hey, yo, you get for a nickel. You got to go see what's happening over here real
Right.
quick
Right.
because you're gonna flip your shit.
yeah.
Like, call the cops, dude."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's unbelievable.
And it's like, it's kind of different. This is what's different in this case than most of the other ones that we're talking about. So most of the time you get a victim like that, like Sylvia or whatnot, and you try to confine them and you try to fucking cut off all ties from anything else. Because as you're abusing them, you don't want anybody else to know what's going on.
Right.
This is the case too with a lot of like parents who kill their babies or whatever. Or toddlers or something like that. But in this case, you got Gertrude who's like pulling in fucking rappies and fucking co-criminals on this shit
Right.
from everywhere. Like everybody is going to know what's going on. You're not
how
fucking
did
hiding
nobody
your situation.
talk?
Yeah, and
That's
everybody's
crazy.
keeping their
And
mouth
these are
shut.
fucking kids.
Right.
And kids are known for fucking blabbing
Right,
shit.
exactly.
You know?
Dude,
Exactly.
look what I
So
did, dude.
fucked up. So Joey, Gertrude has one of her sons make Sylvia clean the basement floor. I mean, this is about as bad as it gets, dude.
Yeah. Fucking, it's... I'm sure, I mean, her urine, feces, everything else. The dog was down there too, remember? So I'm
Right.
sure that it was fucking probably going down there too. As she's doing this, fucking, they're getting her to fucking eat and drink her own urine.
Right.
Like, I'm talking fucking bucket full of fucking piss.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Man.
And
Oh my God.
I mean, she's already, you know, malnourished and probably dehydrated, and you've been kicked and beat around in the fucking the organ area, I guess. So you've already got issues going on down there. I mean, and then you're
So
just fucking
fucked
taking
up.
your dirty old waste and putting it back into there.
Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible
so awful,
situation.
man. There were some near rescues, though. I was amazed to see some of this. Now, Jenny somehow had gotten word to her older sister.
Yeah.
I saw one place it was Dana, and then another place I saw Diana, but I think
saw
it's
Dina.
Deanna.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. So they tell Diana about the abuse, but Diana figures that it's just Jenny lying because she doesn't want to be punished.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like,
That's
you
fucking
just-
crazy.
So at first
yeah.
she just blows it off.
Yeah.
And then another girl from school told her mother what was going on, but she told her to mind her own business.
Which, again, is
Again,
fucking-
it's fucked up. But, in the 60s, this kind of stuff was much more taboo.
And that's what they were saying. They were like, "Oh, it's
Hey,
just,
it's within a family.
yeah, it's a
let them
domestic
take care of
thing.
it.
That's just how it happens sometimes."
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up, but that, definitely I could see it. Now, a reverend from their church stopped by. Now, this would be funny if this was Jim Jones, but I didn't see any
Right,
reference.
right.
But how funny would that have been? Gertrude told him how bad Sylvia was, and they prayed for the girl instead of asking more about the obvious signs of abuse
right.
and the absolute squalid conditions in this fucking house. I mean, I can't believe that fucking, priest or reverend didn't fucking do something about that. That's crazy. So now the older sister, again, Diana, she stops by one more time to see the girls, and Gertie's acting all shifty, won't let her inside. So she calls the cops, and the cops send a social worker out there. That's fucking good.
She tells him Sylvia ain't there anymore.
Right.
She ran
'Cause
away.
she booted her out for being a
And
fucking
she could play that,
prostitute.
somewhat, personable
Yeah.
type of person when she needed to. And she made them feel like, hey, she ran away. And the other girl, I don't think she mentioned Jenny. I don't know off the top of my head why she didn't get to see her.
know.
But she told her that, like you said, Sylvia was gone, that she threw her out for being a prostitute, which is funny. Back in the day, that would have been like, oh, okay. Nowadays, like,
Yeah.
you did what to a fucking 16-year-old kid?
Yeah, yeah. How can they not fucking be like, well,
I know.
that's a problem right there.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck are you
Exactly.
even thinking, for one?
Right. So she files a report and nothing gets done. So that's the common thread here. Now, Chris, Gertrude told Sylvia if she could hold her bladder,
Yeah, which she already knows she can't.
right,
Like,
she
So
would
they
let her sleep upstairs
let her
again.
sleep upstairs. So she ties her to the bed. So even if she did have to go to the bathroom, she wouldn't be able to get up in the fucking first place.
Right, right.
Ties her to the bed, and I'll be up. And she fucking pissed herself, obviously, is going to happen. So
Exactly.
as punishment, again,
Right.
with the fucking Coke bottle in front of all the
Strip
kids.
again for the
Yeah.
boys. What the
Once
fuck?
again, like, fuck that, man.
That's really
hanging
fucked up.
with the boys.
So Joey, they carved and branded this fucking girl. So now it's getting really horrible.
Yeah,
here.
she takes a fucking sewing needle and fucking heats it up and
So
fucking
it's
gets
glowing.
it hot, glowing. Yeah, and I mean, she didn't put like whore
No,
or
not
cunt.
There's
or-
a whole fucking
she
sentence.
puts, "I'm a prostitute and proud of it," and then they tried to put an S on her chest, but the fucking
fucked it
I
up.
think the kid was doing that,
Right.
And he fucked it up, and it came out to look like a 3.
Right.
So Dale Earnhardt, woo,
Right. Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, yeah, but I can't imagine like That's a lot of fucking burns, and that's a little thing, but still, that's torture.
Across her stomach.
Oh, yeah.
That's just fucking horrible.
Dude, the picture of it's just ridiculous. It's so,
it is.
So vividly there.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you can see this
real
on,
fucking
of
burns.
course, I know that you can see a lot of fucked up shit on the internet, but really, the crime scene photos are absolutely terrible.
And then you're fucking, I mean, at any point up to this point, you're still going to school.
Right.
Or whatever.
She wasn't going to school.
No,
by
this
that
was
time.
in the summer,
Oh,
so they
okay.
were done with
Still,
school.
though, you're fucking out. Like, you can't just lift your shirt up to somebody and be like, look at this shit. Are you
Right.
fucking
And that's what she
serious?
said about it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what-
not on The Exorcist here.
Right,
This has
right.
like been burned into my skin by my
Right? And
you
like
know,
Gertrude straight
babysitter,
said, what are
basically.
you going to do now? You can't get married. You can never get undressed in front of me.
Right.
Right.
Like
yeah.
just straight like
Yeah, it's fucked
crushing
up.
this person.
Yeah, now Gertrude forces Sylvia to write a letter to her parents, and this is fucked up. I don't know, Joey, you want to read that?
Yeah. Sylvia did write this.
Yeah,
Right.
it was just dictated by Gertrude.
Right,
Right.
but yeah, Gertrude told her what to say. What the hell's going on here? My shit's...
It got
Yeah, I
all
thought
fucked up.
the
Okay, I
listeners
got
would
it.
want to hear like the
Yeah.
actual letter that
Yeah.
she wrote.
So this is what she said.
Just
She
a
said,
couple paragraphs.
said, I went with a gang of boys in the middle of the night, and they said they would pay me if I would give them something. So I got in the car, and all they got what they wanted. They all got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, and she said, and when they got finished, they beat me up and left sores on my face and all over my body. And they also put on my stomach, I am a prostitute and proud of it. I have done just about everything that I could do just to make Gertie mad. And 'cause Gertie more money than she's got, I've tore up a new mattress and peed on it. I have also caused Gertie's doctor bills that she really can't pay and made Gertie a nervous wreck and all her kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's like making her, in her own writing, confess to all the issues that she's got
Right.
going on with herself
Right.
and covering it up.
So
Yeah.
fucked.
And then
With
never even
bullshit.
made her sign it, so her name wasn't even on the
Right,
fucking-
right.
And it opened up with "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Liken."
Right.
Who the fuck? What kid writes their fucking parent?
Exactly.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Like,
Yeah, dear mom and dad, right?
Yeah,
Instead of
right.
dear Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
like my mom and dad, like, "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Shawback, how are you this evening?"
now Gertrude is going to the basement to beat on Sylvia with chairs, and she's doing some really horrible shit. Unable to finish her off, the poor girl told her sister she knew she was
yeah,
going to
she's
die.
Like, I'm
Right.
not gonna make it, dude.
Yeah, she was refusing to eat. She's covered in sores, starving to death. All she wanted to do was die. I mean, I can't even imagine it. She tried to run from the house, knowing she was going to die. It was like a last-ditch effort.
Because they were talking about fucking taking her to the or the.
Yeah, they were going to take her to the dump or whatever.
Yeah, take her to
get
the
rid
dump.
of her body. Yeah,
Wasn't she talking to like her own sister? Like Gertrude telling her own sister she had to participate in that.
I
Like,
think so.
You got
Yeah,
to take your sister out here and leave her there.
right. Yeah, they were going to kill her. They were going to just leave her somewhere to die. Like
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
And
Sylvia
there was
tried
one-
to run, but she didn't make it. Obviously.
There was a point too where she like Gertrude brought her food, and she's like, "Give it to the dog. He's hungrier than I am," or some shit.
Right.
Like just straight pure fuck you. I don't care anymore. Just kill me. do
Yeah, I
whatever."
want to die at
Yeah.
this point. And then to make things worse, she's at this point she's not even making sense, and they're blasting her with cold water and laughing at her in the basement. So what the fuck? October
It's rough.
26, 1965, Sylvia finally dies. So like you pointed out, Chris, this started in August. So 3 months of this is fucked up. Despite Stephanie trying to give her mouth to mouth, she dies. So Gertie said that she was faking it and told one of the boys to call the cops.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, no, she's dead, dude. Like,
Yeah. She
They
was
had-
out running around. She came home all beat up and she died, is what she told the
yeah,
cops.
that was the
Right,
story.
yeah.
Gertrude.
The cops
had,
are
yeah.
like, I don't fucking think so. She shows them this letter.
that.
So I'm sure they were thinking the same
Like,
shit we were. Like,
on.
come on,
This is dictated.
This is fucking bullshit. So now things start to unravel for old Gertie. She's 37. She's looking fucking rough, like 60. Crime scene pictures are rough. to look at, but like I said, some of this stuff, if you want
Wanna
to
see.
see it, it's out there.
That's what the cops, like Jenny, like her sister, straight up like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I will fucking tell you everything that's been going on. In
That's
this
right.
fucking place.
That's right. So, you know, Gertie's blaming the kids are blaming her. I mean, that's how it is when, you know, they arrest the group, right? Everybody starts turning on each other. Chris, the cops arrest Gertie and bring the kids in, including some of those neighborhood kids that were fucking doing this shit.
Oh, there was like we said, there was a whole gang of them, and like you said, they instantly started saying, "Oh, this is their fault." She's like, "No, the kids did this.
Right.
I couldn't control them."
Right.
But as an adult, if they were actually doing it, you should have been like, "Okay, well, I'm calling the cops and getting rid of."
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
nobody
they
fucking
brought them
called
all
the
in,
cops.
held them all without fucking bail and shit. I'm pretty sure if I remember right. It's
No,
like,
I think
hold
you're
on.
right.
Something's fucked up.
Yeah. So Joey, the autopsy shows some fucking bad shit, man. What was the damages done?
Like
Poor
we
Sylvia.
were saying, I mean, they were using her as a human ashtray, so she had over 100 cigarette burns. There were parts of her skin that were missing, you know, mostly from the fucking scalding baths and shit.
Right.
Like
And then rubbing
some of those
salt into
injuries
it.
required like skin grafts and shit, and she obviously didn't get that.
Right.
And she obviously fucking had bruising and other shit, and then major damage to her vagina, which
Right.
was basically swollen closed
That's
From
from
fucked
getting
up.
fucking kicked so many times.
That's fucking brutal
That's
as
fucked
fuck,
up.
man.
And they did find out that she was a virgin in the autopsy. So despite what Gertrude said,
Right.
she wasn't, you know, doing any of that kind
She
of
wasn't
stuff.
a, which she never had. Her daughter was a whore.
Yeah, right. Maybe two of them. Gertrude was found guilty of first-degree murder and given a life sentence without the possibility of parole, but
No.
she was such a model inmate, she got 4,500 people to sign a petition to the governor,
Jesus.
and they let her
They
ass out in
they called her
1985.
mom in prison. Like
Yeah.
the other inmates called her mom. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, so she walks out of prison in 1985. She
Changed her
blamed
name.
what happened on her asthma medication.
Yeah.
Come on.
She changed her name too, though, because I'm sure you don't want that fucking
Yeah,
name looming over you anywhere
I'm
you
sure. I'm sure.
She didn't last too long though.
No, she did. 5 years later, she died of lung cancer. Too many Pall Malls with fucking Henry Lee, man. The boys were sentenced to time in a juvenile facility, but they didn't do more than a couple of years, which is fucked up. Paula did 3 for second-degree murder and was paroled. She winds up moving to Iowa and lives on a farm somewhere. Stephanie changed her name and became a school teacher.
Right.
That's crazy.
Oh, she got fired though after they found out who she really was.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, they
Oh,
they
wow.
went back and was like, "Oh, you didn't disclose some certain information."
Oh,
like,
wow.
Like, yeah, you're fucking out.
Interesting. The one son, John, was the one that I think commented after the Jonesboro massacre.
Yeah.
He commented about it, but I don't know what his involvement may or may not have been. For whatever reason, he commented about the tragedy. So Jenny grew up and had a family, but obviously struggled with mental issues for quite some time.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess Gertrude. Like,
Right.
like when she got released on parole and shit. Like, she's like, I don't remember what happened. I was influenced on drugs. or
Right.
whatever. Like, dude.
Yeah, that's
You
kind of
know
hard
exactly
to fucking
what
say.
happened, man.
3 months of this shit.
Yeah.
This isn't like a night you passed out drunk and
Right,
didn't remember
right.
what happened.
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't.
3 months of some sadistic fucking shit. Definitely one of the most disturbing cases of abuse I've ever heard. Makes it that much worse that Sylvia was a teenager and obviously not deserving of such horrific treatment.
No,
So,
she was trying to just
terrible.
live a good life, and life just wasn't good to her.
No. And I think Gertrude and her brood definitely got off way too easy.
Oh, I
with
definitely
this.
think that.
So, anything to add to this one, guys? Did we cover old Gertie Baniszewski well enough?
Oh yeah.
Just don't do things like that.
No, man.
And when I
that's
say
fucked
that,
up.
don't bang somebody like Gertie.
No, no, please don't. I did my research with this one, watching a couple good documentaries on YouTube. There was one called The Slow Death of Sylvia Likens that was very good. The book I got, House of Evil by John Dean, I only read some segments of it, but it is good, it seems. But I bought it a while back, and I just hadn't had a chance to read it. Also, I always love Murderpedia. There was some really good shit on her on there.
Yeah.
So that's a good source if you're interested, because lots of articles written about the before, the during, and the after. Pretty interesting. Right. There's not a ton of stuff out there, but there are things if you want to find it. The biggest challenge is to spell the last name right.
Yeah, because it's
it's a tough one.
With this case too, probably like because there's a couple movies out that's based on this. Girl Next Door, Jack Ketchum wrote the book, and then American Crime.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, and I did watch that. But I had Chris come over last night. We watched The Girl Next Door, which, you know, it's not fucking fully based on. I mean, it's not fully factual,
right?
But it shows. It's dark as fuck, and like you feel the terror that this girl goes through.
Oh yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that that's also the reason that I might have first fucking got interested in the case, because I read the book, got the movie, and then I'm like, damn, based off, you know, a case, I had to look it up.
Right.
But
and once you look it up, it's like, oh my fucking God.
So if anybody's like interested, like, I don't recommend, if you're a female, I don't think females like that movie too much.
Sitting there watching
it's brutal.
She's like, what the fuck?
But it is a really good movie, and it does fucking have a lot, you know, that shows like a lot that happened with this. And then American Crime is also one that's like a lot closer to the factual part of it, but it's not like brutal like the other one. But it's, you know,
The Collector was kind of like
The Collector. Yes,
that one.
Yes,
too.
I'll agree.
So next week, guys, we're going to be doing another fucked up female.
Keeping these ladies going.
Keeping it going.
Yeah.
We're hoping we can get our buddy Tex in on this one.
Maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Tex is on a case, so we're going to see if we can get him in here. But we got another nasty bitch, fucking Janine Jones, man. A nurse killing infants in the hospital. Absolutely sick. Very twisted. And she is definitely a brutal bitch. And Tex has had some experience dealing with her, I believe, at the prison she's at in Texas. So I'm hoping we can get Tex on here to talk to us about that. Joey, any good page a day for us?
I do. I got a couple. It's really short this week. And that's because they go off on a fucking tangent, so next week will be a bigger one.
Okay.
And what I'm going to be talking about next week, they do almost the whole fucking week through, is about the Anthill Kids cult.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So
that's a good one.
That's a really interesting case. So that's really
horrible.
cool that I've got a lot to go on. So that next week for Page a Day is just going to be that. And then this week I've only got these two, but they're pretty classic.
Okay.
One's a little more educational, one's a little, you know, funny. So the first one, they're talking about the Charles Lindbergh kidnapping,
right?
Whenever his son was kidnapped. So this was obviously, it was called the crime of the century
at the time.
It was a speculative case, but of course, whenever you got a case like that, of course, fucking years and years later, whenever you have more, you know, forensic fucking data and analysis at your fingertips, you can you know, decipher a few different things. So this is, they're talking about the Charles Lindbergh case, and they're asking, was this possibly an inside job, which is, you know, speculation of conspiracy theorists in this story.
Right.
So they're talking about, when it happened was 1932 on March 1st, whenever the Lindbergh baby was kidnapped and killed. Crime of the century, like I said. 80 years later, there's a history professor. His name's Lloyd C. Gardner, and he proposed a theory, and he was like, what if Lindbergh himself may have been involved in the crime? And he was saying that Charles Lindbergh's belief in social Darwinism and eugenics, also his later Nazi sympathies, and he had affairs with 3 German women with whom he fathered a total of 7 children as possible motives. Charles Jr., the baby, he was a sickly child. He had a rickets-like condition. He had a vitamin D deficiency that required a sun lamp to be kept cribside the whole time.
Really?
Oh, wow.
He had hammer toes, he had an oversized cranium, and he had unfused skull bones. Now, these are conditions that Lindbergh, he kept all this shit hitting until after the kidnapping. Lindbergh himself took control of many aspects of the investigation, and he isolated household staff who may have known about the boy's conditions. And whenever the body was found, Lindbergh, he had him cremated before an autopsy could ever be fucking performed.
Oh, wow.
God damn.
The night of the kidnapping was the only time that Lindbergh had ever missed a speaking engagement ever. He had said he had come straight home from work inadvertently. He just happened to do it. It was the only time he had ever done it. So they're asking, was this coincidence, or do you think he was deliberately there to help Richard Hauptmann, who was the man, who was convicted of stealing the baby,
Right.
but maybe helping him with the abduction by distracting everyone else so that he could get up to Charles Jr.'s room and steal him. So it's still an ongoing investigation that this professor is looking into, but it's an interesting, angle for it.
That is fucking nuts.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know this kid had all the birth defects.
Right, yeah. So okay. So this is the other one that I got, and this is about carrier pigeons.
Oh, cool.
So in 2017, a Kuwaiti customs official on the border of Iraq, he detained a homing pigeon that had been carrying a mini backpack filled with 178 ketamine pills. So law enforcement knew that pigeons were being used to smuggle drugs, but this was the first time that they had ever actually caught one. So pigeons, which can, home in from more than 1,000 miles away at an average of speed of 60 miles an hour. Wow. So you take these things away from where they're from, you fucking give them whatever you want to put on them. This is how people did it way back in the day, too. A message or whatever.
Like messenger pigeons,
you put them up in the air, the pigeon's going to go back to where it's from.
Right.
So that's how you get your message back. So they've been, been used since the Roman times to carry messages, like I was saying. More recently, they've been recognized for their ability to carry lightweight, high-value narcotics.
Oh, wow.
In 2011, a Colombian police discovered a pigeon struggling to get over a high prison wall because it was weighed down with packages of cocaine and marijuana.
God damn.
God.
A pigeon carrying the same goods made its way into a Costa Rican prison in 2015, but was also discovered by the prison guards. So carrier pigeons still being used for smuggling.
How did the pigeon get from the prison to where they got to go to get the drugs?
I don't know.
Over the wall, I guess.
I mean, how did drugs get into prisons in the United States?
Buttholes?
And a lot of corrupt correctional officers and
Right.
They'll just bring
so
it
I'm
out.
saying probably down there they're probably helping out even more.
Right.
You're making all the money inside the prison selling these drugs. You cut me in on some of it. I'll get these pigeons over
I'll
here.
get them out the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Plus cartels probably got that shit fucking worked out.
Yeah,
So
true.
Probably.
But yeah, carrier pigeons. That's some crazy criminal
That is
shit.
crazy.
Awesome.
That's a good one. All right. Was that it?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
It's really short. Like I said, next week we're gonna do the Anthill Club, the Anthill Kids.
Anthill Kids.
Cult. It's hard. It's like a tongue
It's a
twister.
fucked up one. Well, we have done our fair share of murdering tonight. I think it's time to crank up some metal. And Joey, what the fuck do we need to do?
Let's get our metal
Just
on.
because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you.
Hell yeah. CK, the great metal motherfucker.
fuck
All
yeah,
right.
dude.
Well, Chris, we're in metal, and you got the horns
Yeah.
tonight. I passed the horns to you.
I got the horns right here.
Fuck yeah, all three of those
Fuck
goat
yeah.
horns there. And who did
Yeah,
you decide?
I got Erik Rutan, the individual. So yeah, I did a little bit of it because I personally didn't know a whole lot about him either. I just knew that he played in some bands that are well known or whatever. But,
Right.
so I just went in and like got basically like his music career and shit and
That's cool.
whatnot. So like, but he was born June 10th in 1971, fucking coming from Jersey. Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay.
But like his first, when he started his metal career, like playing in bands, whatever, his first band was called Ripping Corpse, which is fucking
Nice.
pretty dope like that. But and they only recorded one album in 1991 called Dreaming with the Dead, which I never got. Didn't get a chance to listen to that because I didn't even know he was in a fucking band called Ripping Corpse. Did you, Joey?
Yes.
Yeah, I assumed you probably did. I had
Has
no
he
idea.
always played guitar too?
Yeah. It's always been a guitar player. And then after that, he went to fucking Morbid Angel in '95 and did Domination with Morbid Angel, which is the song we're playing is off of that album tonight. So it was a fucking good album. And then he started Hate Eternal in '96. And the first album, fucking Conquering the Throne, came out in '99. And then he took a hiatus from that and went back to Morbid Angel. Like, he did Morbid Angel a few fucking times.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he went back to Morbid Angel after he started Hate Eternal to do Gateways to Annihilation, recorded that with him. And then in '91, he did a side project, a progressive band called Alas with Therion's vocalist, Martina Astor. And it was a pretty big fucking album in the progressive metal scene. That's another one that I haven't heard of yet. It's just, I haven't
heard that either.
Right.
I haven't heard that at all, dude.
Me neither.
So, like, I need to check that out. And then, where was I at? And then again, he went back from Morbid Angel just to concentrate on fucking Hate Eternal, because that was his band. That's his band. Like,
Right.
he started it, fucking guitar, vocals. That's his shit. He's like, so I'm going back out. I'm going to do my thing with Hate Eternal. So in 2002, they released King of All Kings. 2005 was I Monarch, which is a fucking dope ass. I was actually just listening to that one today. In 2008, they had Fury and Flames. And this is all stuff with Rutan. This is his band. Like, I told Joey, too, I thought about actually just doing Hate Eternal, but I thought it'd be cool to do fucking Rutan.
No, I think it's a really cool idea.
Hell yeah.
It gives us a lot of opportunities to do stuff on bands we've already covered
Right.
that maybe
definitely.
we could touch on like this. I think that's
Exactly,
really
yeah.
a great thing.
And then in 2011 with Hate Eternal, they did Phoenix Amongst the Ashes. And 2015 in Infernus, and then 2018 they did, which was the most recent, Upon Desolate Sands. So now, going to 2018, we have Pat O'Brien
Right.
from Cannibal Corpse.
Unfortunately, that situation was bad.
Now, everybody knows what happened. He got arrested for breaking into these people's house. His house caught on fire. There's like so many fucking weapons in there and
skulls.
ammunition. And there's like skulls just hanging out. So Pat O'Brien from Cannibal Corpse is now in jail.
Right.
So, and this is 2018. And then like in 2018 and 2019, it's announced that Rutan's going to fill in for O'Brien for the rest of their fucking tour dates
Right.
that they have throughout the spring and winter. So he does that, all the show gigs and whatever. And then in February of 2021, he just permanent member of Cannibal Corpse now. He's the new guitarist.
Right.
And came and was on the new album, fucking Violence Unimagined. So he's basically Cannibal Corpse's guitarist now, and Hate Eternal fucking vocalist, guitarist, and stable member of fucking Cannibal Corpse. But then he also started Mana fucking, his production company Mana in fucking St. Petersburg, Florida in 1999. And it started out as just like this 700 by 700 square foot storage fucking thing, whatever.
Right.
So like he did that. And then in 2000, where was that? Where'd I put that? Shit. I don't remember. I didn't write down the date that it opened, but he got a new facility, which is 2,000 square feet.
Wow.
So he's got like an A room
Good for him.
for all his recording, everything. He's got a whole separate drum room that's like 24 by 24 just for the drums.
Wow.
And his mixing equipment, I started reading that. I didn't want to start going through all that.
Yeah,
like
you can get
all
lost in
his
that
sound
shit.
equipment. I'm just like,
Oh, God.
there is so much going on here. But if you want to go, and look at it, like just Mana Studios, look that up, and it'll give you.
Mana?
Yeah, MANA. And it's, dude, it just, his recording equipment is just ridiculous,
Top
man.
line.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God. But
Very cool.
yeah, but he's produced tons of awesome bands. Fucking, I mean, I know he did 6 Feet Under. Fucking, obviously, he did the Morbid Angel albums he's on. But
Did he record the new Cannibal Corpse?
The new one, yeah.
The new one,
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got a whole list of all his production and fucking metal music. That's just a list that's insane. But
That's amazing.
yeah, that's kind of fucking
That's cool, man.
Erik Rutan in a nutshell. Like, there's definitely way. Like I said, you start getting into like his playing equipment, his guitars and all that.
Right.
He did just get a recent fucking endorsement from BC Rich, fucking. So he's got a 7-string. I can't remember the model it was, but he got endorsed by BC Rich. So he's fucking check that out, fucking. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, my Lost Classic this week, I've been listening to some Black Sabbath lately, and I really love the Sabotage album and the one that I'm wearing right now.
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Thank you, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I brain locked there for a second. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath and Sabotage, both of those I really love. I love a lot of the old Sabbath stuff. But yeah, I've been just jamming some Sabbath, so
Necessary.
always good shit to go listen to. What about you guys? What have you been jamming lately?
Well, being as I was doing Erik Rutan, I was listening to a lot of Hate Eternal and fucking the Domination album and fucking Annihilation, but a lot of just random other metal and random other music, dude.
That's
A lot of fucking Hate Eternal. I was listening to fucking a bunch of that today.
Okay. Very cool. Joey, what about you, man?
Jamming some of the shit we've been doing the reviews of. Sigil from Poland and fucking Saudi Arabia. But they're dropping another single, I think, tomorrow off that album that's coming out. Jamming. Another one that I'm really stoked on that I'm doing the review for is my next review is going to be for Between the Killings.
Yeah.
And that's my buddy Braxton's band from Indiana, but also involved in that is Vaughn Young, and on the recording, like Kyle Christman from Gorgasm. And I mean, it's just a lot of big hitters on there.
That's awesome.
They've already had a lineup change, but it's also some other of my friends. So I'll talk about that at a different
when
time.
I saw that one come across, I'm like, I think Joey definitely would.
And
like
it's cool because it's like a project, and what they're doing, I think, is 4 EPs that'll go together to create the full story or whatever.
Oh, great.
So this is the first one that they're releasing. So I've been jamming that. In the car right now, I got my buddy's fucking hip-hop label from up in Canada. He's a fucking supporter too, but EOA fam. But one of his artists, Iron Menace, which I really like. But he's got a line in one of his songs, and fucking, I thought it was funny. And I'll probably steal and use it in a Goremonger song. But he's like, I'm a bad motherfucker, like dude who's fucking Casey Anthony. And I was like, dude, that's so fucking good.
Oh god,
that's a bad motherfucker.
yeah.
But so I've just been jamming a few random things. So
that's cool. I've been jamming the Sabbath stuff, as I mentioned. Also, new Jungle Rot, fucking kick-ass, Call to Arms. New Misery Index is fucking brutal.
Hell yeah.
And also another UK band called Dishonor the Crown. Definitely like those guys. Kind of Slayerish, with a kind of a... Yeah, it's different. It's good stuff, though. I really like them. And bands, if you're in a metal band, send us your stuff. We'll check it out. If we like it, we might play it. And might do a review of it. Might put you on the show. Might not. We'll check it out, though. Pete at murdermetalmayhem.com.
Yeah, maybe do some interviews with you.
Yeah, we'll check you out. So please send us your stuff. And if you want to go old school and send it to the P.O. Box, that's Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745. Stickers are always welcome.
Fuck yeah, they are.
I want to throw some of those in. We'll put them on the table. All right, Joey, you have the horns next, and I know who you're going to do.
Yeah, I've already told, so if our faithful listeners have been listening, they know, but next week I'm going to do Crotch Ripper, which is our buddies, but they're a band from here in the Quad Cities, Illinois, and along with that episode, I did an interview with Alex from Crotch Ripper, so we'll have both of those available for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That'll be next week. So
like the whole Crotch Ripper, I'm wearing the Crotch Ripper shirt. Like today at work, I wore it to work because you can't read it anyway, dude. Point being, dude's like, so does that shirt have some kind of meaning, or is it just like a random ink blot that you got to try and find stuff in? And I explained it to him. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, it's a death metal thing. He's like, oh, I figured with the name Crotch Ripper.
All right. Speaking of ripping crotches, you can do that in the 666 Club if you want.
Yeah, you can.
You can do whatever you want. You're a Patreon supporter. We appreciate that. You can check out that Manson family episode we did if you want to join up. And there's no other way to hear it right now. Plus interviews, full interviews. You get the episodes a day early. It's just $3 a month. I mean, it's nothing.
It's not that bad.
So go to the episode description, please, and join the 666 Club.
We got a discount on the merch. You get 10%
That's
off.
right.
And we still got some of the shirts. We got the zombie ones that Gaither did that still got CK on them.
Yep.
And the old school ass shirt with just you and Chris on it. A
Yeah,
couple of
we
those.
still got some of those.
Activity book. Like, we got some shit.
Activity
So
book.
Yeah,
it's-
they're going to be in the new store that's going to be online. The webmaster, Jeremy's working on it. And so we're hoping here by the end of the month, we got a brand new website to tell you about. All right. Well, I think we have done plenty of metal tonight. So, Chris, what the fuck do we need to do?
Let's get our mayhem on.
Slowing on his path, the blind leading the blind, and the flock who's never confused. Who has a gift of healthy sight of mind? Who knew was dead while the others are blown away? Eyes to see, while the others see not. The voice of the elder skies. Eyes to see, the blind they wither away. You fools, these eyes are never for you.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Serial Killer Car Rentals, where you can rent a car used by a serial killer for $99.95 a day.
Are you serious? I'm taking a shit in some nasty truck shop in Findlay, Ohio. Someone wrote your number down on the inside of the stall.
We have a branch in Findlay. You can rent the yellow Volvo that Martin Bryant drove to the Port Arthur massacre. We'll toss in the surfboard for free, dude. And the trunk is filled with weapons and ammunition.
Why the fuck would I want a surfboard in Ohio? This shit is whack. A trunk full of guns and ammo sounds like fun, though.
Or how about the sick Ripper rape van that William Devon Howell used? There's enough DNA in that thing to father a village.
Zam, you guys are fucked up.
Killer
Sick
car rental.
Ripper.
Oh, so
God. That was good. Serial Killer Car Rentals with Joey and Chris's
Courtney,
girlfriend,
yeah.
Courtney. That's fucking hilarious. Good stuff. And before that, so sick. Morbid Angel, eyes to hear, or eyes to see, ears to hear.
Eyes to
Fucking
hear,
wicked.
ears to see.
Yeah, it got me all discombobulated. Gertrude Baniszewski just fucked me all
Oh,
up.
dude, for real.
So very cool stuff, though. Erik Rutan, Chris, that was great.
Hell
That
yeah.
was good, and you forging new ground because I
Yeah.
think we're going to do some more of
Yeah.
that.
That was a
For
good
sure.
Where we pick a musician and just talk about his career, different bands and stuff.
Definitely.
All right, Joey, you had an idea here for Mayhem, and I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck I'm getting myself
Hold
into.
on, let me tell my
but-
story and then we'll.
Tell it that. Well, I'm going to say what I'm doing, then I'll get it ready while you tell it.
All right, cool.
So what I'm doing is, my girlfriend overheard me saying fucking like Mountain Dew, like they come out with all these new flavors. I'm
Try
not
it at least once.
I'm not a big soda guy either, but I always got to try like all the flavors. So they came out with this one, and it's fucking flaming hot Mountain Dew, right?
Oh, my God.
Which I'm not a fan of the flaming hot shit to begin with. Plus, I'm not a soda drinker, so there's no chance that I'll probably fucking dig this.
Oh, you ain't gonna like it.
But my girlfriend, she fucking bought this fucking 20 ounce.
Let me
She-
see it. What is it? Okay.
Like flaming hot
Oh,
Mountain Dew
wow.
with lime.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
God,
fucking
sounds
I'm gonna
disgusting.
split this 20-ounce bottle between me, Chris, and Pete. And
Oh, God.
while Chris is telling this story, we're gonna fucking drink this shit.
Oh,
This is our product review for Murder Metal
I guess
Man.
if we could eat fucking Vegemite.
Vegemite. There's some right here, man.
And you know what too is I figured normally I probably would have did this with our Pop-Tarts, but I thought the fucking taste would have fucking
Yeah,
been
you
so
don't-
gross together
you don't
that
wanna fucking-
Yeah.
we couldn't
You don't wanna
ruin it.
ruin the
Yeah, I had to
Pop-Tarts,
give
man.
it another fucking segment before we could drink
Is
it.
this like a Malort thing? you
That
think?
might be.
It's-
It might be.
Man, that's probably closer
You're
to the
putting
truth.
a lot in those fucking glasses, man.
Oh, you?
Holy
I
shit.
probably ain't gonna drink all. Well, see how it tastes.
Chris, maybe you dig it, man.
I
You
don't know.
might, dude.
All right, but here's my story. So just over the weekend, any of you listeners that know may remember that I have recently lost my teeth, so I don't have any.
Right.
Mind you, I got another dentist appointment tomorrow. I'm
Nice,
going
nice.
fucking, yeah. But so, that bass Pete's making right now, dude. Like fucking, so, well, we were at our homie's shop, the Painted Wraith, the other day, and we were having my daughter there, fucking. All of a sudden I hear, hey, Dad, come here, check this out. So I walk around the corner and they got this whole bucket full of just old school dentures, like old people's dentures.
Oh, wow.
A bucket full. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. And then fucking when girlfriend comes around, she's like, no way, get the fuck out of here. Starts digging through. She's like, open your mouth real quick. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like looking at the shape of her mouth. So she finds this pair that, and anybody who doesn't know, dentures have your name on the inside of it. They have your name on them.
So you were to pick like sugar babes out of this?
Yeah, no, it said fucking Larson. Shit said Larson. Like mine had my first and last name. This one just said Larson. Like, all right, cool, whatever. It's like it was $4, dude. So it's like, fuck it. She's like, I'm fucking buying this shit for you. So we take it home, make sure it's clean and everything. And I'm going at it with a fucking goddamn sander and a fucking grinder and a Dremel and shit. Like, can I make this shit fit? Needless to say, I did not make it fit, but it was fun, dude. It's like, fucking, let's try this. Who gives a
like
fuck?
New Yankee Workshop, you know, you were doing
Right,
some
dude. Like, whatever, dude. Let's try it.
nation fucking dentistry there. Wow, that's special. What do you guys think of this?
I haven't even tried it yet.
Try it, Chris. I don't even know what to think of it. It's obviously not something that I would drink on the regular, but it's also not quite as bad as I was anticipating.
No, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it might be.
No, it's not as bad
but
as
it's
I
not
thought.
something I would drink, even
No.
if they had it in
No.
diet.
It
'Cause
does-
I'm diabetic, so I can't be drinking.
Right.
It's really like, okay, it ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be at all, but it's not good.
There is a pretty strong aftertaste.
There
though,
is.
so.
It tingles in your throat a little
Yeah,
bit.
so if you want to check out this Mountain Dew, we're doing this on our own. Nobody's paying us to say this
we're
shit.
just fucking doing this because
We're just doing it because.
Thanks,
so.
Stephanie.
Yeah, thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Huh,
All right, well, we got ourselves a good killer cage match tonight, guys. That's where we take 75 killers, 75 objects for them to fight with, and a variable to make it fun. Our listeners provide those random numbers so we could pick the
Fuck yeah, they do.
killers and the objects.
Tonight
so-
once again, we have Stephanie Brooks, Rebecca Boomsock, and Caden Stuthis.
Hell yeah.
I hope that's how you pronounce that.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. We've got a great matchup tonight. We have the who we got fighting tonight, Joey?
Tonight we fucking got we got fucking I forgot now.
Manson.
Old Charlie Manson.
Yeah, I got
the
it right
hippie
here.
fucking
I got
love
it.
guy.
I've been fucking. We were drinking that flaming hot Mountain Dew, and it had me kind of fucking off on a thing. For a minute. I still don't know what to think about it. It's still in my mouth. But we're doing Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson versus Pee Wee Gaskins.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, this should be good. And Chris, we got a couple of objects for him to fight with. Here's a couple of
Yeah.
familiar ones we've seen before.
A stank ass blood stained thong.
Oh God,
And a
is it
mouth.
Gertie's?
I hope more.
Dirty Gertie.
yeah.
And then we got a flamethrower like the one in Pat O'Brien's house.
Yeah,
Because
right.
Pat O'Brien had a
That's
fucking
right.
flamethrower when he got fucking.
Oh my God! And the variable, Joey. This is a good one here.
I don't know. I don't want to get canceled for saying this, but it's a transgender prostitute after drinking a 12-pack.
Okay, could be interesting.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
man.
All right, so we got Charlie Manson and Pee Wee Gaskins, two smaller stature guys, fighting to death in a cage with a blood-stained stinky thong and a flamethrower, with a transgender prostitute in there with them after he/she
Oh, man.
drank a 12-pack. So what the fuck do we make of this one, Chris?
So I'm going with that thong. It's just straight off of the prostitute. The prostitute just like it's blood,
Oh, okay.
like all them fucking hemorrhoids be falling out and shit. Like
Ugh.
just passed out off of the 12-pack back there. Pee Wee sees that thong. It's like because Manson isn't very hands on. He kind of just like laid back. He's high as fuck, tripping balls, not even knowing what's going on.
Right.
Pee Wee gets that thong and just like chokes out Manson because he likes to choke people.
Right.
And then he's like, fuck that shit, grabs the flamethrower, burns the prostitute, like, kill him with fire, because he was racist and everything else anyway.
Right,
So,
right.
like, whatever, dude. So I'm going to give it to Pee Wee.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Joey, what about you, man?
Man, I think like when that fucking bell rings, I think Pee Wee Gaskins is going to be so fucked up by what he's seeing in there between Charles Manson's hippie fucking dirt ass and then this transgender prostitute.
Right.
Pee Wee Gaskins, he's not about that life too much.
No, not at all.
No, he's like, that's fucking weird. So he's going to fucking go crawl over into a corner and be scared for a little bit. Manson, he's going to go up to fucking, to the transgender prostitute. And he's going to be like, yeah, you're my kind of people. We're going to fucking hang out.
Make some money.
He's like, I'm going to show you something because I've been locked up in prison for a long time and I got a lot of inmate innovation. I'm going to show you how you take this bloody thong and you're going to cut it up, you're going to take a little chunk of it, you're going to take this flamethrower and you're going to make it like a dab, and you're going to dab the bloody thongs, and you're going to be high as fuck, and then Manson and fucking the transgender prostitute are fucking lit. And fucking, so after they're fucking, after they're so high, but Manson knows that the transgender prostitute also drank a 12-pack, and Manson likes to keep everybody else a little more fucked up than him, so he's a little more in control. So after they fucking do the dabs of the bloody thong, he was like, hey, do you see that fucking pussy over there cowering in the corner? Go over there and fucking stab the shit out of him. And fucking he sends the transgender drunk ass prostitute over there with a fucking ripped off piece of a beer can that he made into a prison shank. Right. He fucking cuts up Gaskins. And Manson just sits back and doesn't do anything.
Damn.
At all. I get it.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's funny that they're both smaller dudes.
They
so
are,
like actually it could be like a fun fight.
It's like a lucha libre fight.
Right? But like Chris said, I mean, Manson wasn't really hands-on and Pee-wee was.
Yeah.
So I think in a fight, Pee-wee's going to whip his ass, but it's always fun when you got the objects and the variable in there. The transgender prostitute drunk is, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how much of a factor that would be, but it's sure going to get kind of whack in there.
It's hard to figure out, kind of like it's hard to figure out what this taste in my mouth is.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's like not a taste like actually in your mouth. It's like in your esophagus.
It's like whenever you eat wasabi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely am not a fan of
the
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I'll never drink it again.
All right, the book that I wrote, Deeper Than Dead, is out June 6th on Blunt Force Press. You can go to deeperthandead.com and order your own. You got the deluxe version, color all the way through, big 8.5 by 11 size, and then you get the 6 by 9 black and white. You can order either one, and we also have bundles with posters. The posters should be here tomorrow. The new posters that were fixed because the other ones showed up damaged. So I'm anxious to see them from the other company that ran the posters. So anxious to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you those that already have ordered, because we had quite a few advanced orders going out. So thank you very much. As I mentioned, our new Murder Metal Mayhem website, also my writing website, together will be out at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Also, that YouTube channel we always talk about, it's free to subscribe, and then you'll get notifications when we post new content. You want to, stay up on it because we do post stuff. We got videos or interviews we've done with bands. I'm getting ready to do the metal segment when you did Levidity.
Yep.
That's going to take a little more surgery to put together, so I'm going to do that. And so that'll be probably the next video that goes up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we have done plenty of mayhem tonight, so let's hit that fucking outro.
The gift of death is for him to heaven. It will destroy. I still shall rise above, go to web and explode. And the way man is to blame. The dreamer without faith, the bloodshed by anger, fire just
Hell yeah, Corzus,
dude.
Brazilian band. Definitely dig those guys. The song called Devil's Head. Definitely a good band. We did an interview with the guitarist, Antonio. That was really cool. All right, Joey, we had some good bumper music tonight.
We did, and fucking. Unfortunately, I'm over here slacking again on that. But I know we fucking played Morbid Angel with the Erik Rutan. And what else did we have?
We just
tonight?
played some choruses, and then
and
before the
Divine
first one we
Chaos.
did Divine Chaos.
Divine Chaos. That's what I could not remember.
I know. I had a hard time remembering the name as well. but really
I'm
did
telling
go
you, this
good.
fucking Mountain Dew's got me so fucked up. I'm just not paying attention. I'm thinking that if you want to get instant heartburn, if you mix this with Fireball,
Oh my God,
Or
dude.
Flaming Hot Cheetos or something.
all three at the same time,
Oh,
a
geez.
shake.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine
Let's
this. in
make
just
Michael
Fireball,
do that
man.
and
Fuck.
videotape it. That'd
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah, that'd be great.
Chris, who does the metal intro music?
Fucking Chrysix out
Hell
there.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
Murder
yeah.
Metal Mayhem intro by Low Fucking 12.
Low 12.
And thanks to everybody out there listening. Keep seeing the numbers here. Almost
Thank you, guys.
4,000 this
Man,
last
let's
week.
hit that
That's really great.
4,000. That would be
Thank you.
awesome.
That'd be fucking dope
Yeah,
as fuck,
so
man.
we appreciate you guys checking it
Even
out.
if you
and
listen
tell
to it more
people.
than once.
Right?
Yeah. Tell people about it. Tell your grandma. I mean, she might like the Gertrude Baniszewski episode.
We'll
We'd
take
love
your
to have
grandma's
us some
dentures. They
pipe
got gold
bitches.
in them.
Now, Chris, what about that first comment there?
Patty Go Crazy 5 says, a buddy told me about you guys, and I love this shit. I have so many episodes to catch up on, and every one is funnier than the last one. Great job. I live in Dallas, but drive a semi, so I'm all over the fucking place. Fucking right. You got lots of time to listen to shit when you're driving, bro.
Right.
Whenever
so
you're
thanks,
fucking
Patty. Be safe out
Tying
there.
up
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
prostitutes and killing them.
Yeah, in
That's
your
right.
semi.
Dragging them behind the semi to grind their
Yeah.
face off. Joey, what about the second one?
Denny Downtown Brown commented, "Love the one you guys did on that crazy English bitch, Joanne Dennehy. She reminds me of my ex.
Oh.
Thank God I did not end up like those poor bastards."
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm glad you survived that.
Yes.
Denny.
Yeah, glad you got
I'm
out of
sorry,
that
though, you had an
situation.
ex like that. God damn.
Right? Out there killing.
Allie Billings 444 comments, my husband and I listen in Boulder, Colorado, home of the Dank Buds. You guys are great. We both loved the Murder Mountain episode you did on 420. That was epic.
Hell yeah,
very
that was a good
Thanks,
one.
Allie. All right. And Chris, that last one?
Bandy Go Handy 666 says, I live in Mexico and I like what I hear so far. More thrash metal, please.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get it.
Yeah, definitely. I lean more the thrash side. You guys more the death grind, but I think we have a lot of common bands that we dig, and some maybe not so much, and that's what makes it fun and
Hell yeah.
and more well-rounded of a show, I think. So, all right. Well, big thanks to the guys again in Blasphemation from
Fuck
Tampa.
yeah.
So sick, death, grind metal. They are a sponsor this month, so we appreciate that. They got the full-length
Check out the-
album.
yeah,
Phantasmagoria, Beyond Strange.
Come check it out.
Definitely a cool
Fucking-
title.
Dude, yeah.
Well, we got them to the end of the month, so next week I'll fucking give a little more insight into more of the bands that are playing Tampa Death Fest.
Yeah,
Give
that's
it a little
cool.
push.
Because they're part of that big Tampa Death Fest at the
Yep.
Brass Mug, Friday, September 30th to Sunday, October 2nd. That's in Tampa. And so, yeah, next week we'll run down some of the bands and
Hell
talk
yeah.
a little bit more. So, very, very cool. And we'll link to Blasphemation in the episode description so you can find out more about it that way, too. Support the underground, like we always say. All right, you can check out murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to all the past episodes. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. We're on pretty much every platform that's out there, but when you go there, like us, comment, rate it, whatever you can do. I know they're all different, but those go a long way. So those of you that are already doing it, thank you very much.
Yes,
Support the show. Join that 666 Club for $3. Patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. And those of you that already support the show, thank you. We got
yeah,
one
we
listener
appreciate that.
pledges $666 every
Hell
month.
yeah, now that's
great. I love it.
$6.66. That's fucking sick. So that's awesome. So you could do more than 3, but we, at least 3 helps pay the bills here. All right, you could pick up my new novel, Deeper Than Dead, at deeperthandead.com. And so I'm already shipping advanced orders out. So if you order it now, I'll ship it the next day. So you're going to get it quick. I send them well packaged and with the letter. I handwrite a letter to each one, sign the book for you. And the bookmarks for the advanced orders have me and Brian both sign the bookmarks. So you get that too.
Fuck yeah.
And when the audiobook is done, I'll send you a link to get the audiobook for free.
Yeah, dude.
All for ordering it in advance.
How about that?
Once June 6, 2022 comes, then all that stuff goes away. But you can still order, of course.
Look,
all right.
I'm gonna say, like, we tried to drink this
I
Mountain
can't
Dew.
drink it,
This is
dude.
the
I
end of
can't
my
either.
review for tonight. I poured us. We each had a fucking little plastic cup and about half in all of them.
Right.
They all still have about half in all of them.
Right.
We're gonna throw them in the goddamn yard because they're
Because
fucking
it's
gross.
really
fucking
nasty.
gross.
I had 2 sips. and it
Yeah,
was
so we
pretty
got
bad.
thumbs down on the flaming hot Mountain
Yeah.
Dew. So
Yeah.
If any of you guys out there like it,
Yeah, I
let
mean,
us
that's
know
cool if
why
y'all
you like
dig it,
I'm
yeah.
curious. This is like not good.
you know who likes it? Our buddy Jake.
It
You
probably
know he
does.
loves that
It
shit.
probably does.
All right, well, we can't let him go without hearing a karaoke song. It's a blast from my past. So crank it up, and until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And keep your fist clutched around a Yingling, puffing on a Pall Mall and torturing a child.
I know your eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. In the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Your love, how deep is your love? I really mean to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest hour. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think I care for you when you know down inside that I really fucking do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. Da 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 da. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. What the fuck is that? And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. Da 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 da. Yeah. Deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. Da 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 da. Yeah. Your love.
Man.